I've got an itch I can't scratch, I'm missing a piece that completes a whole part of me, an open wound scar to see. Everybody come here, gather round, welcome to the freak show, the best in town. What the hell's wrong with me? I don't get along with anybody, honestly. I've been living in my own head constantly, thoughts jumbled round, think I need a new lobotomy. Wait, all these thoughts are too negative. I don't wanna get lost in the sedative. Gotta show them what I got, I'm competitive. You know I'm about to go off, I won't let them win. I'll take a stab, I wanna chase a bag. I wanna weigh, I can change all the things I lack. I gotta face the facts, I got a taste in that. Got me obsessed with the rest, I got an itch to scratch. I'll give up everything. If I could see my dreams, cause I'll do anything to make one a reality. Don't let go. I'll make things right, cause I'll do anything to make one a reality.
I just wanna find a way out, sick of the venom in my brain. Running from the past, wanna escape my pain. I just wanna be a better person, I deserve this. I just wanna break these chains. Always destined for greatness, true to myself, I never fake it. Seen too many once, I just so they get famous. And when I say the truth, most really can't take it. In spite of everything I've been through, I'ma make it. Fake friends, but on my downfall is toxic. Day one, started to outlaws for profit. Now all I do is write verses, no talking. All I do is put the work in, no option. This was everything I ever wanted. Created a legacy off of me, just being honest. And the fake ones hate, but it's all to no avail. They wanna see me lose, but you know I never fail.
I'll give up everything, daunting if I can see my dream, make things right, cause I'll do anything to make one a reality. I'll give up everything, daunting if I can see my dreams, make things right, cause I'll do anything to make one a reality. Don't let go. Don't let go. I'll make things right, cause I'll do anything to make one a reality.
Ain't that the truth? A beautiful day every day. That's right. What y'all think about the Gran Torino film? It was made back in 2008. I've been getting shorts of it. I think I might want to watch it this weekend. What y'all think of that movie? I think it's a good movie. Oh, damn. Do I not have IGN pulled up? Oh, no, it's right here. That's fair enough, I suppose. Masters of Albania. Yeah, that was a good movie. Okay, I think I'm going to check that movie out. I think I'm going to watch that movie. I think this game looks kind of cool, but I think that I'm just tired of playing games where every time you make progress, there's a chance you could lose progress. Eugenics was a lot like that. Oh, this is 22 minutes. I ain't finna watch 22 minutes of that. The hell is... Oh, 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 oh. Uh-oh. Damn, they added more games. Let's go. What the fuck is this? Huh. That's a weird ass game, bro. People walking in a... I mean, I guess I could see a pretty big narrative story there. Man, Soulframe trying to make a comeback. What do we got here? 30 passionate developers. Okay. I'm piqued in interest.
For 1,000 years, humanity lived under a fragile reprieve. The horror was contained, but now the boundary is thinning. You are a Grim Runner. To hunt the monsters, you must become monstrous yourself.
Okay, I like where this is going. Why did it pause?
Every transformation makes you stronger.
Ooh.
Every transformation brings you closer to becoming what you hunt. I'm Alex Amancio, head of studio at Ellipsis. Let me show you how to survive Nighthold. There are 3 initial archetypes. Seers kill from afar, curse and corruption. Nameless kill from nowhere, nightmare made flesh. 4 beasts kill from close, raw and feral. There is no single path to victory. You can scavenge, make deals, hunt other players, or...
How's it going? How's it going?
Fiend. Find 4 Gloom Hearts, summon it, and bring it down. This is Wraithford, our first setting.
How's it going? I'm gonna keep calling you Alex. I don't think you changing your name is gonna make me call you anything else. I'm used to calling you that.
Early on, strike. It all leads them straight to you.
I didn't realize this was 9 minutes. We're not gonna watch 9 minutes. This game looks interesting. This game looks really interesting. It looks like shit. I don't care. Looks like shit. Ooh, what's this? What the fuck? You. Any gameplay? Oh, there is gameplay. Oh, what the heck? Who you play as a creature or something? I don't know about this one. I'd have to... Why does it keep showing like the same few frames? Like looped over again, like... Wait, we already saw this. I don't know about this game, bro. Maybe. Whoa, what's this? Echoes of Nothing. What the hell is this thing? I don't know about that. That kind of looks like Star Fox a little bit. Ron Parlerman. He's got a new movie coming out? What? Well, I'm going to have to check that out off stream. Oh, man. How many of y'all play Darksiders? That game was so good.
All is clear. When the seventh seal is broken, 4 horsemen shall ride forth to punish the wicked. The law has been broken. How long was I gone? Long enough for the last of the mouth breathers to die off. Send me back. I will punish the ones responsible. I answer the call.
Yo, let's go. All right, now that you guys have remastered it like 7,000 times, it's time for a remake. Yeah? It's good that we've come to terms with this agreement. Now just start making that instead of trying to remaster it again, huh? I saw XQC play in this game last night. This game looks fun. It's a roguelike, so you know there's more to it than meets the eye. Really? You like that? You like that kind of gameplay? That ain't really for me. Where'd it go? Oh, hell, I don't know what it was called. Here we go. You like that kind of gameplay? That ain't really my cup of tea. I do like the coloration of the beam, though. That's nice. Oh, it's a Souls-like.
Is to burn the fire's will.
I think I might have fucked up. I think I judged it too soon, boys. I think it's a good thing that, Infidel said something. I didn't know it was a Souls-like.
Is to kill. The weapon's cause. Does the lightning yearn to strike?
Oh. We'll go turn that music off. See, can you build your own ship? Damn, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of misjudged that out the gate. That was pretty good. I didn't realize it was a Souls-like. Hopefully it's a good Souls-like. This game also came out last night. Watched Queso play a little bit of this game. This game looks real good.
This can't be right.
It's a horror game. Puzzle horror, kind of like Poppy's Playtime. But it like takes place in like that old McDonald's style like playroom. Subliminal is what it's called. Masters of the Universe. Ugh. Haven't been able to really touch Crimson Desert. I think I will start playing it again today. What is this? What the hell is this? Oh. Oh, it's turn-based. Disgusting. That's it? Oh. Whatever. Let's move on. Oh, man. So, we covered a little bit of the DLSS 5 from NVIDIA. They're already abandoning ship, boys. They're already abandoning ship on it.
You've given us the best possible quote to start this video off with. Well, first of all, they're completely wrong. Now, that is what NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang said in response to the criticism of DLSS.
Oh, no!
And that was just the first step in a week.
Bro, it's obviously a salesman ploy. That's all that ever was to make people think that it actually worked really good, to try and sell these graphic cards more. They're hemorrhaging money and they're never going to admit it because their cards are too fucking expensive.
NVIDIA trying to soothe fears about DLSS 5. We got a press Q&A that led to some specific technical questions, and then Jensen appeared on a podcast to downplay fears and talk about how he also dislikes the AI slop. So yeah, they want you to believe that all of this stuff...
Well, if you dislike it, then why are you using it to generate frames? What do you mean, bro?
...is about enhancing artistic direction with the best technology possible. That is what DLSS 5 is all about. But I think with a lot of contradictory statements flying around the place, and NVIDIA actually making it clear that it's not really what they said it was at the beginning, I think there's a lot to talk about. So at a press Q&A, Tom's Hardware's editor-in-chief Paul Alcorn asked Jensen about the backlash, about fears the DLSS 5 can, quote, make games appear worse, homogeneous, or show only NVIDIA's view.
Yeah, you know why? Because the second you start moving and you don't have a still frame, that the face is gonna look like soup. It's gonna look awful. You're not even gonna see a face.
Look, and his response had a tone of gentle scolding. He reminded the press that at the keynote he, quote, explained very carefully that DLSS 5 is based on the, quote, ground truth of the game. That it was a mix of developer-led artistry, in-game geometry, and generative AI enhancements. One that puts the artist first, and that, quote, doesn't change artistic control. He goes on to say,
It really? That looks like it changes artistic control. When you have the environment lit up when it's supposed to be gloomy, that changes the artistic direction of the game, bro. What do you mean? What the hell are you talking about?
It's not post-processing.
Making the character look like it has a permanent ring light following it around on its face changes the artistic direction of the environment. I'm sorry, it does.
Frame level. Of course, we'll get into the nuance, and he says that ultimately it is just a tool. The quote is, we created the technology, we don't create the art. Otherwise, developers wouldn't be able to alter the
You don't even do that, bro. You let AI create the art. Yeah, you're right. Based on what you just said, you're correct. Yeah. You just make the hardware that makes the art, right? Because the minute that you turn on that filter, everything is made automatically, right? So technically you didn't do anything, AI did it all. Man, what a great cop-out. I love it.
Part to create
way to sweep behind your ass, right?
As quote toon shaders, or have characters look like
toon shaders
are made of glass. Now that's something we'll talk about soon, so hold on to that idea. But Jensen's intent was quite clear. It's the DLSS 5 does not make games.
Oh, by the way, check out Bellular News, Bellular News. He's a freaking beast, man. He covers everything.
Or reflect NVIDIA's view of gaming, and that it can't, because if developers wanted something different, they could quite simply just do that. And that is how the critics could be, quote, completely wrong. But there's a slight problem for our boy Jensen.
I'm sorry, but you lost me when the main guy was saying that he didn't like AI slop when you're using generative AI to make frames. You immediately have my red flag raised. Everything you say from this point forward is probably going to be null and void. I'm sorry.
Because rather
That's just how it is, man.
Someone else at NVIDIA started answering questions, and there's a bit of a clash. So here's what happened. YouTuber Daniel Owen was skeptical of these promises and the level of control the developers would actually have. So what he did is he asked NVIDIA's GeForce evangelist.
So you asked developers. Wait, let me take a run back on that.
YouTuber Daniel Owen was skeptical of these promises and the level of control the developers would actually have. So what he did is he asked NVIDIA's GeForce evangelist, Jacob.
Because they had said, I don't know if it was a post or a tweet or something, but they had said that the artist, Morning Walter, they had said that the artist still has full control, and they asked the artist what they think. But how can you ask the artist of a game where the development studio has been shut down? You don't find anything very conflicting with this? It's obvious they don't care about the artist. They just want to sell this stupid graphics card that's incredibly overpriced. They started getting overpriced with the 2080s. Okay? They are making these cards for an outrageous, absorbent amount of money now because they don't want to source out cheaper materials, and they think that PC gamers are going to continue to buy these graphics cards at 3 times the cost of a console. Look here. I get it. I get console prices are outrageous right now. But if you wanted to buy a computer, you would still be paying $1,200 more for a decent computer. And that's if you don't build it yourself. If you build it yourself and you want top of the line like electronics like a 5090, you're looking at like $3,000 for a graphics card, which is a 5090. That's 3x the amount it would cost for just one PlayStation 6. I get that console is expensive and a lot of people are pissed off about console. But let me tell you something. When you look at a graphics card and that mug is $3,000, which one do you think you're going to get? You think you're going to spend $3,000 on one computer component or sit there and look for hours online for used computer components and hope that it works? Or are you just going to buy a goddamn console and be done with it? You're going to buy a goddamn console and be done with it. Hell, even the new Steam machine that you don't even have to pay a subscription to use will be 50 times better than trying to build a computer right now. It's just cheaper. You don't have to worry about it coming in if you get it pre-built off of some site that you can't really trust and it being fucked up the second that it gets through your door. Because a lot of people, they order a pre-built computer because they don't know how to put one together, and that's fair. But whenever you get it in through the mail and something in it's not plugged in and you turn it on and fry it, then you got to send it back and deal with that company even more. It's a fucking nightmare. I've seen it happen. I watched Gamers Nexus. I get the whole damn thing. What I don't understand is why they have to charge so much for all this shit. No one wants generative AI to fuck with the narrative direction or the artistic direction of a game. I just want to play the fucking game. I want to have a computer that's reliable and functional. That's all I want, whether that be a console or a PC. I don't want to spend $2,000 on something this crazy. What is happening right now? And what really pisses me off is people still buy it because of FOMO. I don't get it. It's like that like YouTubers, they get involved with movies. They have to watch the movie to give a rating on it. And it's like, if you know from the trailers that it's going to be bad, typically you just know. And you know what you do if you just know it's going to be bad? Don't spend money on it. Stop spending money on it. If you really have a problem with it, stop buying it, dumbass. Stop. God damn. If you genuinely have a problem with something and you want it to stop, stop buying it. Otherwise, shut up.
Jensen and the GeForce Evangelist had a rather different view.
PCs are fucking expensive, bro.
The video that was made here is great. You should definitely check it out, but I'll go through some of the highlights.
Like, trust me, it sucks. Nobody wants to not buy it, but it's getting to a point where you genuinely can't afford it. Bro, when you got to take out a second mortgage on your fucking house to afford a $10,000 PC, don't buy it. I hear now that people are using motherfucking, they have like payment plans for fucking Uber Eats. Are you fucking schizo, bro? What are you doing? Cook! What are you doing?
The same page about the tech. NVIDIA's repeated
You're acting like cattle, man. Stop.
So what you as a player actually see.
You just want to take these people and you should stop it. Stop it now. Because they keep buying shit.
From the game engine's 2D input frame and motion vectors of that scene. Basically, that is the starting point. Stay with me here because the details actually do matter.
Oh,
From there,
bro.
the generative AI model understands the textures, materials, and environmental lighting in that frame, and it applies what it believes are better.
Oh my god, there's no way. You serious? Some of the 5090s are $4,000. Dude, there's no fucking way. Who the fuck buys this shit? Bro, I've got two 2080 Ti's in my shit. Why do you need a 5090?
But NVIDIA told Owen that the underlying geometry is unchanged, that everything the model does is only for the output frame, inferred from what the model's analysis is of the input frame. And this is a bit of a problem, because it makes Jensen's position that this is geometry-based rather confusing. That's crazy! Because it does not read or alter geometry in engine.
I don't know what fucking white people you know that want a fucking 50... Dude, I don't know anybody that can afford one anywhere. I don't know who the fuck you talking to. Hell, most of my friends, they either fucking lost their job a year ago, have been looking ever since, or they have a job but they still can't afford shit, so they're at home with their parents. The fuck, man?
To the super deep level.
They damn sure can't afford no $4,000 graphics card
for third year uni, but suffice it to say, yeah, this
you realize that $4,000 is rent for 4 months where I'm staying? You understand how much money that is? Like, when you start looking at that money just disappear, like if you went and withdrew $4,000 in 20s from an ATM, you would get an idea. That's a lot of fucking money. You may not think it is, but when you have that money in your hands, that's a shitload of money. That's a fuckload of money.
Basically, a very fancy and in some ways quite cool screen space effect.
Well, I say for 4 months, it'd probably be more like 3. It's definitely more than $1,000 a month, I'll say that.
Doesn't actually know where all of the light sources are in the scene. It is inferring, based on the frame that it gets. Owen drills down, asking where some discrepancies came from, like, say, a Starfield character suddenly gaining hair, or Grace from Resident Evil gaining lipstick. So clearly, even in their own demo, character art did actually change, and in a way that would make you think slightly different of Grace. I say that, by the way, having completed that game. NVIDIA say that the dev controls are intensity, color grading, and masking objects to remain unaffected, which is honestly not all that much control, and not as much as some of those original statements implied.
I gotta stay as vague as I can with the price point, because I don't want people looking up fucking apartments in fucking Houston trying to figure out where I live. I gotta try and stay as vague as possible.
Confirmed, these are early examples of the tech, but it is still tech that they thought was ready to market to us.
This is just stupid. This is just dumb. If they really thought that people were gonna buy into this, bro didn't have a mustache and he grew his mustache in a whole frame. Like, come on.
But it is still tech.
And you want to tell me that this isn't changing the creative, the artistic direction? Bro, like, you really must think most people are just fucking cattle. Seriously? Did you even watch the trailer?
Market to us. Where things get more awkward for Jensen is a follow-up response to Owen that attempts to resolve the geometry contradiction. As geometry is the primary input into the rendered frame, geometry acts as the control plane for the model. So this is seemingly NVIDIA's final defense. It's basically that because the geometry is just the starting point, that this is more than just some post-processing. You know, a little bit like how you and I are technically powered by the sun, because we eat animals that ate plants, and the plants are fed by the sun. In this case, the sun is the geometry. So yes, it's technically true. The final frame that DLSS looks at will obviously be impacted by the goddamn geometry of the scene.
Bro, like, you see how, like, it changed the entire mood of this room? Like, this is what I was talking about earlier, like...
DLSS looks at...
Well, look, it's supposed to have this... Well, I'm just going to say it. It's supposed to be a poor mining outpost that all they do is work until they either die or they finally get enough money to leave, right? So they're not going to spend a lot of money on lighting. That's just how it is. It's to set the environment and the realism of the environment being dark and dim and it being a mining facility, right? Why the fuck, like...
be impacted by the goddamn geometry of the scene.
You get what I'm saying? Like, this is a change to the environment. It doesn't look right.
In real terms, it is basically nonsense. And the core reason why is simple. Everything NVIDIA are saying is about appealing to developers on art direction, but while they are saying that, when you look at what their work is doing, well, it is completely overriding that artistic direction.
AI music is already topped the charts on Spotify and stuff. AI music isn't just better, it's literally the best. They had to tighten down the tap on AI to keep it from going viral every 5 seconds. You're not going to compete with AI, I get it. But when you try to spin something that's dishonestly this bad, it just makes people not want to engage with it. It's not the fact that it's altering the environments, it's the dishonesty behind the alteration of the environment. And also the dishonesty with the price points of the cards as well that do this. There's talk that the graphics cards that are able to do this, you may have to run 2 of them in your computer. That's $8,000. That's $4,000 a pop. Just to run that AI filter, that's basically what it is an Instagram AI filter, and then to run the game. You understand how unnecessary that is?
Artistic direction. That's what NVIDIA says this is all about. But then there's what you see with your actual eyes. And NVIDIA gave us the perfect example to pick apart.
It's this, yeah, like, she doesn't have lips, and now she has lips. Like, what the fuck? Hello?
As Owens points out, and just about anyone else who's played the game, Grace from Resident Evil Requiem is a particular victim when DLSS 5 is turned on. And what's even better is that game has a high-fidelity model viewer contained in it. And that means we can actually see what was intended.
Hey, man, I gotta put them hours in, bro.
on a contextless
That's right.
model that is just there in a model viewer against a black screen. While she is wearing a light blush lipstick, it's not the dark red of the DLSS 5 presentation. Similarly, her eyebrows are less tinted, her mascara and eyeshadow are also less pronounced. Now, what DLSS 5
we here on the
produces
weekends too, man. Come check us out on the weekend. We here every day.
Every
day.
Is obviously
For at least 3.5 hours, we here every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30. So W person that stopped by. I love to see it, man. I love to see it.
not Grace as the artist's intent.
W. Walter.
I mean, just look at it with your eyes. And of course, you can think about what all of those art direction things for that character, well, imply about who she is. And even going beyond that within the same demo, you see other problems. Lighting and detail become a bit muddied, even beyond just the changes in tone and artistic direction. Basically, dev intent is replaced with what the model thinks is an improvement, which does make a lot of sense because as
it's AI, that's why. It doesn't know any better.
Turns out, the developers were not that involved to begin.
I just want to know how fucked up it looks when you start moving around. All we've been shown is still images. What does it look like when you turn it on? And you start moving around really fast.
At the studios that have provided demos and stuff like that have given glowing reports, like say Todd Howard. Insider Gaming suggests that internally, some developers had no idea that this was going on. And that's because staff at Ubisoft and Capcom told them that basically they found out about this whenever we did. And in the latter case, it was actually quite worrying.
Oh, so big surprise. Whenever NVIDIA said that they were, talking to the artistic people that made the games, they lied. I'm totally going to trust my $4,000 with a company that will boldface lie to me. Come on.
Staff because the company had been quite anti-generative AI in terms of in-game content, so they were a bit worried whenever they saw this demo.
Oh, look at that. I've never seen this video before. Big surprise. I'm right.
Now, that's a stance that a newly published investor Q&A has
come
actually
on.
reaffirmed, so...
Everyone with eyes can see it. Everyone knows it. I'm just saying it. I'm tired of being censored by everything, bro. I'm just gonna say it.
Making it clear that they're not going big into Gen AI for their art. Which is obviously good. That would be bad for the games, I would say. But this kind of thing has been a trend for developers. They broadly don't like this tech and what it does to their art. And NVIDIA seems completely caught off guard by the reaction. And that's in spite of everything that they did ahead of it. As it turns out, they did quite a lot. All the way back in 2018, NVIDIA unveiled a forerunner to this technology. It was NVIDIA Freestyle. And basically, this...
Oh, they still trying to sell it. They just gave it a new name. Okay.
This was a tool that would simply filter everything on screen to maybe make it look like a watercolor or dim it for blue light filtering.
Oh, what the fuck? Ew.
At night. Now, at the time, the pitch was all about player control of what the game would look like because, quote, PC players love to customize their games. How times have changed.
Why the fuck would you want to do that? Bro, where did this mentality... Bro, whenever I put it... Look here. Whenever, you know how many hours of Fallout I played before I realized you could change the HUD color and the Pip-Boy color? I played at least 150. Whenever people start playing the game, they don't want to spend an hour fucking around in the settings. You know who takes an hour to make a character? A streamer. You know how many games I've started playing? Like Fallout and Cyberpunk, where I go to the character menu to make a character, and I'm like, dude, I don't give a fuck about this. Default character, let's go. I want to play the game. I don't want to spend an hour in settings. I want to play the fucking game. I don't care about the fucking graphics. I don't care about it. Is the gameplay worth a shit? That's what I care about. I don't know where the fuck this direction went with these goddamn graphics. Every game made on Unreal Engine 5 looks amazing for the most part. Right? I don't care about the graphics. Is the game worth a shit? Is it worth playing? That's what we need to be focusing on.
DLSS 5, by comparison, is all about developers in how it's being pitched. The opening reveal from Jensen claims this technology works while, quote, preserving the control artists need.
New refrigerator's great, working great. I would say it's new, but I mean, it works. I didn't have to pay for it, so I'm happy.
For their creative expression, even though a lot of information...
It's one of the best parts about living in an apartment. That's probably one of the only good parts, is that if an appliance like the oven or the sink or something gets fucked up, like the refrigerator, I don't have to replace it. It's kind of part of just being in an apartment.
Since suggests that really is not true as much as he is implying there. But even as the backlash rolled on...
Okay, so this one doesn't look too bad. Like, this actually looks like it kind of did some good to the environment.
Really is not true as
See, like, it was kind of dark.
much as he is implying there. But even...
That looks a little better.
As the backlash rolled on and they tried to manage the PR of it, say, Jensen's Q&A statements, that was all centered on developers, not customers. And that is a deliberate thing, because NVIDIA
Obviously.
Freestyle was just optional fun for players, but DLSS 5 is supposed to be the big thing that's coming next for NVIDIA. And believe me, that's going to be really important. Developers can choose not to implement DLSS 5. Jensen reminds us of that every time the topic comes up. But what NVIDIA really wants here is buy-in. And that's why this is a DLSS feature and not some sort of separate tool. Because you may also think, hang on a second, I thought DLSS was all about upscaling and that kind of thing. This doesn't really seem like that. Yeah, you'd be right.
Well, like, you have to keep in mind... Oh, shit. You have to keep in mind how much strain this puts on your graphics card. Like, you have I'm gonna try to lay this down in a way that people will understand. You have an overall lifespan of a graphics card, right? And the amount of strain that you put on that graphics card will determine how long that graphics card will be good for. Now, some cards that were built different, you know, like, will have a longer lifespan. Like, for example, not every single graphics card is the exact same. There are fuck-ups in the graphics card that will shorten or lengthen the graphic card lifespan, right? Whether it be the putty shifting a certain way on the CPU of the graphics card, or the components being a little shifted, they're not all going to be the exact same. And when you start running this software that's going to force upscaling on your graphics card, that bitch is going to run hot. A lot hotter than normal. And you put your graphics card through this intense, like, strain every single time you play a game, you're going to start running into some problems really early in this in the graphics graphic card lifespan. I just don't see people wanting to shorten or hurt the graphics card lifespan by overheating it to try and play a game with DLSS on at 4K 120 FPS. I just don't see it. I would be very hesitant to sit there in my own home and run this constantly for every single game, because I know mentally that this could totally fuck my graphics card up with overuse. Kind of like if you overclock your computer a lot, all the fucking time, but you don't have, like, the tools in the computer to make sure that it doesn't overheat. You know, like, you have to make sure that you have the right setup in the computer, the right case, the right cooling units, the right everything, that it doesn't overheat, because if it starts overheating, you're gonna kill the component. You're gonna kill the graphics card. And that's what I just really don't see working out very well with this. And they're saying that you might need to buy another graphics card just to run this shit. They're like, that's everything I need to know right there, is that if you can't even run this without it overheating with one graphics card with it on a game like Spider-Man or, I don't know, Resident Evil, this isn't gonna work for you. It's not. It's
But when
not
you think
gonna.
about NVIDIA's technological moat, it is all bundled into the DLSS branding. It's pretty much how loads of people basically get acceptable.
I don't know about y'all, but I can't tell a goddamn difference between 60 FPS and 120. I can't tell the damn difference. It's like the same shit.
Frame rates these days. And that means that if developers want to have the lovely frame rate boosting tech, well, they'll have to actively work around the likes of this new stuff being included, and you wonder where that will go directionally. And there's certainly room for it to go bad. I mean, perhaps if companies want to be at the front of the queue for NVIDIA driver support in the future, maybe they'll be encouraged to use this technology, because what NVIDIA is really building here is a moat. They've already done this with prior DLSS features, and if you ask me...
Yeah, no, they're trying to make a selling point, but it's failing miserably, because they didn't sell it up with these graphics cards. At $4,000 a pop, you're lucky you sold any, dude. Like,
really about is solidifying their way upwards of 90% market dominance in gaming. Going back to Daniel Owen, he asked if NVIDIA would keep this technology exclusive to their hardware, and their answer was they have no comment. To be honest, I think means probably no. Now, in NVIDIA's dream future, console games will need hardware-level support to match the likes of DLSS 5. But the thing is,
but nobody's gonna use it. That's what they don't seem to understand. Nobody fucking cares.
This will be far harder for someone like AMD to replicate, as they've been trying to do for the existing versions of DLSS with FSR. And FSR is often great. It could get close enough to DLSS on the upscaling, and some of the stuff they've done with PlayStation is incredible. But replicating a generative AI model running on NVIDIA's own Tensor cores may be a different problem entirely, and that is what gives NVIDIA
yeah, exactly. You could buy an entire computer for $4,000. A pre-built computer. Why the fuck would you, like, it just doesn't make any sense.
Not against AMD.
They're pushing this so hard, but it's not working.
Intel and PC. There, NVIDIA's real competition is basically their older cards. DLSS 5 is a graphical improvement. It's not really a performance one. And it does, I guess, work in the loosest sense. Right now, with the highest resolution, photorealistic games. The games that actually drive people to upgrade their GPUs to play. Now, in the past, DLSS performance gains could end up basically backporting. They could go back to the prior cards. I mean, DLSS 4.5 is available on the 20 series cards from 2018. So previous DLSS stuff could run on the older RTX hardware, but a generative model at this scale, now that is almost certainly going to be intertwined with their chip design going forward. And that means that players would need to upgrade if they want some of this. And to drive upgrade cycles like that, NVIDIA needs to get players, developers, studios, and publishers on side. Right now, they don't have anyone but themselves. They've typically used their lead in the market to try and define the territory of the next fight that they will be fighting.
They've tried to use their lead in the market to drive up prices, but whenever nobody else in the market is willing to do that, and you're not able to use your monopoly and other monopolies around you, like AMD, to you're not talking with AMD to make this solid monopoly in pricing, then people aren't going to buy your graphics card. They're going to buy a different graphics card. You know why? Because it's fucking cheaper. That's the same reason why you see all these like, for example, if Burger King and McDonald's, their prices go up. Well, their menus are so similar that if you want either, like, if usually if it's Burger King that's too expensive, you'd go to McDonald's, vice versa, right? But if they're both super expensive and there's no other fast food in your town, well, I guess you're going to be paying more. But the thing is that it's not working with NVIDIA because there are cheaper alternatives. And they don't seem to want to understand that, so they're losing mass amounts of money because they're overcharging for their graphics cards now, like crazy.
Right? And that's meant that the likes of, say, AMD have just been playing catch-up. So DLSS happens. And what does AMD have to do? Well, it has to dedicate R&D resources to matching DLSS. So basically, the competition ends up playing catch-up, and NVIDIA just gets to dominate harder and harder and harder, which is pretty much what we've seen. The demands of NVIDIA's business are what will drive a lot of these future graphical changes, improvements, performance gains, etc., and not the artistic direction of developers or your preferences.
It's just like a game that's on sale. Are you really gonna wait for an $80? If you're gonna buy an $80 game out of release, no, you're gonna wait for the reviews to come in. You're gonna wait for, what people think about it, and then you're gonna wait for it to go on sale. I mean, you think that people are just gonna buy the 5090 right now? No, they're gonna wait a few years, and then whenever it drops to a price point that's way more reasonable, then they'll buy it. That's what's going to happen. They're stupid if they think people are going to continue to pay $4,000 for this card. But what really sucks and what I've noticed is that even the old 2080 Ti's haven't really gone down in price. NVIDIA is trying to stranglehold and make people spend as much as they can on these graphics cards now. And it's just so bad. It's just so bad. I think the next graphics card that I get probably won't be NVIDIA. I have a NVIDIA 2080 Ti, 2 of them actually, but I don't think I'll purchase another one.
Maxing IRL streamer Clavicular, as rumors have it that he was arrested yet again. Last time it was because of the physical altercation.
Tozy, you're the only one that has their audio right. W a Tozy, by the way. Go check out a Tozy.
That happened on his live stream, and this time it looks like it could be because of the viral gator clip, where he essentially mag dumped on a maybe alive or maybe deceased alligator.
It was dead. It was dead.
In Florida.
Yo, boys, we're gonna cut it for a little while. I've got to take care of some stuff, and we'll come back soon. So we're gonna come back in a little bit. All right.
And then on top of that, you also have clips of him firing at a drone, which isn't a good look, to put it lightly. I guess Clavicular has been seemingly trying to deal with the. It feels like his.
It doesn't matter. If you do the crime here, you do the time. We prosecute to the fullest. We don't give out special treatment.
I know I've came on this channel multiple times talking about how this guy is slowly ruining his life. Well, every time he streams himself doing something crazy, like blatantly breaking the law or admitting to insane and sometimes illegal methods to stay lean and, I guess, ascend in his own words, it's not really like he's helping his own life. I feel like he has
He's a young dude that is a streamer. I mean, look at Speed. Speed couldn't stay out of trouble, man. He got permabanned on Twitch. And you know what happened? He's around the world right now, bringing people together. As far as I'm concerned, everyone deserves to be stupid when they're younger. It's the growing up process that will determine if you were ever really worth sticking around to figure out if you were worth. Damn, I just did a circle. It's the growing up process and where you'll end up that will make or break any streamer. Where are you at? Where do you want to be? How long will it take you to get there? For people like Somali, it never happened. Hopefully he spends a good portion of his life in jail, coming to terms with that fact.
So much going for him right now.
Someone like Clav just doing stupid random shit. Who knows? Who knows?
Now,
everything's up in the air right now.
Doesn't know how to handle it, so he just self-sabotages to, I guess, I don't know, make his life hard again for no reason.
Shot. Is Rakai really in jail? How? What the fuck did he do?
Whatsoever. But I guess the reality of the situation is the fact that I'm still making videos about him means that he still managed to avoid any real consequences up until now. Which, some people will be like, oh, that's kind of surprising, but honestly, for anything to really happen with U.S. law, it takes some time. And don't even get me started with outside of the U.S.
No.
Smalley.
He's not banned. He's not in jail. He recently came back after his ban. He's also another super young streamer. I don't even think he's 18 yet. Super young streamer that got banned for doing something that Nina Lynn did. We covered that a while back. It's been a while. He did a courtroom style return talking about his ban. He's not in jail.
Still stuck in Korea to this day. But back to Clavicular. The assault charge, or the original reason he was arrested, was allegedly due to a fight that he was said to have instigated between his girlfriend Violet and a TikToker by the name of Jenny Popok. But in the time it took me to record and edit most of that video, he'd already posted bail, walked free, and did some PR with baby goats, and set up this big return interview with academics about how the jail wouldn't let him wait inside for his driver to arrive. Also, he was worried about all the press outside, and in reality, it was just like a half a dozen middle-aged dudes in polos. Like, it's not like he really had to fight his way through that crowd. Like, there's nothing intimidating about this. But regardless, his response to this wasn't exactly like, oh, hey, I'm really scared of going to jail, either for assault or unloading a mag into an alligator, or
well, he knows that there's nothing really that's going to happen to him. I mean, why should it? He's not harming anybody, first and foremost. I'm not a big fan with him shooting the firearm up in the air, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, it's not like he's actively harming anybody. If nobody was shot and killed with the drone thing, make him pay, like, he's rich, he's got money, make him pay like $5,000. You know? Make him pay like, I don't know, like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $150,000. I don't know how much this dude makes. Fuck. Make him pay a lot of money. You know, take that money, put it back into the police force, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's the intent, number one, and it's also the what you do, in my opinion. If you decide to go on a high-speed police chase, lock them up forever. If you obviously hurt or kill somebody, lock them up forever, work camp. But like, whenever you're just kind of doing your own thing out, like, I could understand if they had did that in someone's backyard. They were in the middle of the swamp in Florida. There was nobody around other than some schizo with a drone and an alligator carcass. Like, that would be like if you went hunting and you decided to shoot, I don't know, at the fucking trees. I don't know. Like, who are you hurting? Nobody. There's nobody around you. Like, I don't...
And I guess, to be fair, up until now, he has managed to get himself out of pretty much every sticky situation he's gotten himself into. You know, mowing down someone with the Tesla, being at a bar while underage, and possessing a fake ID. And even
I don't care. It's a dead alligator. Who gives a fuck? You know why they tried to push him getting in trouble for that? Because Florida has alligator hide trade. It's hard to sell an alligator hide if it's got 9 holes in it. But I want to inform you. I've seen the alligator hide, and someone else in the comments yesterday said this as well. The alligator hide was rotten. It's rotten. It was discolored. It was no longer a dark color. It was bright. It was ruined. They were never going to use that dead alligator hide. It was rotting.
Times that, you know, he was using that Walter White special to lean max. But none of this is really giving him any real...
That's right. You can't hurt the dead. Things dead, man. Like...
But like I said, until now. Because if there's one thing Florida's not going to let you do is mess around with their alligators and get away with it. So when Clavicular abruptly ended his stream...
I wonder if he knows that alligator was dead. I genuinely wonder if he... We got a Asmongold video I'm going to be covering after this that addresses... He didn't go live yesterday, but he made one video talking about all the misinformation and the obvious lies that have been being put on the internet, like especially with the Middle East and everything. We're gonna be watching that next. But the first thing that was published whenever Clav shot that alligator was Clav killed an alligator. That was the first title everywhere that I saw. And then I saw the video and I was like, that alligator's fucking dead. It's not moving. It had no head. It was twisted up in some branches. It was fucking dead. It was discolored even. Like, you could see that it was discolored and rotting.
Again, in the midst of this, what was supposed to be a 30-day marathon, rumors started swirling online about him possibly getting questioned again by police in regards to the mag dump into the alligator.
I think we should, might have to turn it off for like half hour.
Be right back.
We watched that legal mindset video yesterday that really kind of broke it down. That he's not going to get charged for the alligator.
No, not even be right back. Just, yo, boys, we're going to cut it for a little while. I've got to take care of
I think Clav is running into the same problem that Kai Cenat ran into here recently, last year, actually. I think that's what's going on, because, like, I get the alligator and the drone incident was one stream, And it was stupid, sure. But I don't really disagree with shooting the dead alligator. There ain't nothing there to harm. It's dead. I don't get that one. But the shooting at the drone was fucking stupid. That was stupid. And the recent BS with him and those two girls, that shit is just problems. You need to cut those people out of your life. Same thing that Kai needs to do with his. Like, you need to get that shit out of your life.
Come back in a little bit, all right?
Or could it be the assault, since the day prior it was
I feel like he's going to have more problems with that assault, because once he gets past the criminal trial, that woman could try to sue him and get money. So, like,
that his girlfriend Violet turned herself in to the police, and her mugshot started doing the rounds online as well. And even though she'd gotten out on a $1,000 bond, both of them legitimately being arrested, coupled with Clav disappearing yet again, had people speculating that, you know, it's serious this time. And that's exactly what the Florida Attorney General James Uthmeyer said in an interview from March 30th, where he was asked about the gator incident and gave a pretty detailed answer.
The gator is a protected creature, a majestic creature here in the state of Florida. And there was an influencer, Clavicular, who was caught shooting one on a fan boat. This footage was all over my
You notice how these people never say if the alligator is dead or alive? This is the language that the internet has to use in order to make you think that you have somebody that is shooting an alive alligator. You can change the entire narrative of this by adding one word to that sentence. We have Clavicular shooting a dead alligator. But they have to maintain a massive amount of eyes all the fucking time. Whenever I see the full story circling around something like this, and I hear the way somebody's talking, and I hear this, like what he said.
Caught shooting one on a fan
Shooting
boat.
a dead alligator. A dead, rotting, just decomposing alligator. It was not alive, it was dead.
This footage was all over my timeline this weekend of this.
It's this language that a lot of legacy media uses as well. It's a way to keep you engaged while spinning a false narrative. Now, if he had straight up said a dead alligator, the entire internet would just turn off to this. 100%.
Killing or
they don't
shooting
care.
a dead or alive gator. This is, again, illegal by statute. We pulled it by the statutes of Florida.
So this is interesting because there's still a whole lot of questions up in the air about this incident. Was he on, Florida's public land, or was he on private property? Did the tour guide he was with give him permission to do this? So, I don't know. There's a lot of things here. Oh, and then, of course, was the alligator alive or not? So, of course, all of those questions matter a whole lot for this whole case.
The footage of the alligator was so clear and non-pixelated that any courtroom that looks at that and determines that that alligator is alive is completely fucking stupid. I'm not even kidding. You can clearly see that alligator is fucking dead, bro. The camera was so clear, it was in 4K. It was a dead fucking gator. It was gonzo.
But this is the first we've actually heard anything from a source with any real credibility on the situation. And if there's anyone we could trust with reliable information on this case, it would probably be the Attorney General. But also, it was safe to say that no one was shocked by his response.
What's an update here, Mr. Trump?
Yeah, well, he's been arrested. Pretty good. Fish and Wildlife, the Conservation Commission here that oversees.
Yeah, its stomach was up, bro. It was dead.
Our state parks and permits.
I don't know about you, but I've never seen a fucking alligator sitting on some shrubbery with his fucking stomach facing outwards. Dude, what?
Comes to hunting animals, they're deeply involved in an investigation, obviously.
And I love that they're still talking about the alligator thing. You do realize they dropped all that shit, right? They're trying to get him for the assault stuff. That's what Legal Mindset said yesterday, is that all that shit was dropped out. None of it stuck.
We have the video, but we're crossing our T's.
They're trying to get him for the drone, firing at the drone, which is apparently it's like a type 2 felony because it's firing at an airplane. And they're also trying to get him for the assault with that cat fight that happened, right?
Eyes.
Yeah, the whole crossing your T's and dotting your I's really sounds a lot like he's trying to make sure he has a slam dunk case. And while he likely can't actually share too much, he surely doesn't tiptoe around how he feels and isn't afraid to remind people that this is a felony. And he's definitely not pretending to be Walmart employee or just a silly prank. And this is definitely not, you know, Clav pretending to be a Walmart employee or just a silly prank. They were filming themselves discharging lethal firearms recklessly into the air. Or as he...
That one I agree with. If they're going to lock him up, that's a good reason. I will accept that reason. When you start shooting into the air, that's a huge fucking problem. I absolutely agree with that. But this whole, like, fixation on this damn alligator, it's a fucking, you're shadow boxing. There's nothing there.
Quote unquote described.
They're trying to disenfranchise him and make him look bad for firing a gun into a dead alligator. It was a dead alligator.
Being careless and cocky.
Like, it looks like a serious offense here. This is a felony. You can't just go out and shoot animals here in Florida. We have law and order. We have a permitting process. If you want to go on a gator...
Well, like, in his defense, how was he supposed to know that it was illegal? What do you do whenever you're hunting ducks? Well, you're going to have to shoot in the air sometimes. That's just all there is to it. I don't know where this property was. I have no idea where this property was. And it's like Atozy said, he doesn't know if it's private or public. We don't know that. What we do know is that he had a guide. That guide should have given him the rules and had told him what he can and can't do in the state of Florida. Assuming that he actually lives in Florida, right? That's what I don't get.
Hunt. There's certainly very appropriate ways to do that. But the imagery you see in the video is pretty careless and cocky. And at the end of the day, that might just be so stupid that it lands him a lot of time.
Yeah, I'm from Louisiana. We got a bunch of them down there too.
Behind bars.
And this doesn't even cover the fact
mean sons of bitches, man. Woo! There's some mean sons of bitches.
Shooting out a drone that they were alleging was spying on them, which also is extremely illegal. But I feel like a broken record at this point because I still don't know why streamers act like rules don't apply to them just because they're filming content. Like, the camera turns on and I guess all their critical thinking just flies out the window. It doesn't make sense. If anything, when you're live streaming, you should be on even better behavior.
Look, I don't know, Clav. Now, whenever I first learned how to shoot a weapon, a friend's dad told me what you should and shouldn't do, what you can and can't do, what's against the law and what's not. Like a simple rundown crash course, right? Now, I don't know what Clav has done. I don't know if he's gotten a concealed handgun license or anything like that. I don't know. But typically, after the age of 18, you can buy a handgun and do whatever the fuck you want that doesn't involve killing somebody or breaking the law. Now, if he has never been given this crash course, he wouldn't know better. I don't particularly know how old Clav is. Let me see. How old is the stream clavicle? He's 20. He's not even 20 yet. He's 19. He probably hasn't had anybody walk him around a gun before and give him the crash course. How else are you supposed to know? He's learning a lesson. And you know what? I think that if he learns his lesson, W. If not, put him in jail. Like, he's fucking 19.
That's now there forever.
Think about all the dumb shit most people do at 19.
Everyone to see. But like I said, when you never face any real consequences and instead you're just praised and given opportunities like walking a fashion week, like days after an arrest, I guess.
I mean, I don't know about you, but spending the night in jail kind of sucks dick. I mean, I don't know if you've ever, I know I haven't been to jail, but I don't want to. That sounds like it sucks.
You're just gonna act like this. So I can see why he has this whole untouchable attitude, but I also think it's important to remind these streamers that no amount of internet clout is going to save you from the law.
But the message I'll send is...
No, but his money will. Because, like, at the end of the day, the real question is how much of a headache is it going to be to put this guy in jail?
The law here, no matter who you are. If you're an influencer,
Especially if it's a first offense. Like, I'm sorry, but there's not going to be much that you're going to do to a 19-year-old he's 19, it's his first offense. Like, you're going to fuck up, especially if you're on your own like that and you really don't know. And you're young and dumb. Like, you're going to do stupid shit. You're just gonna. That's just all there is to it.
Social media celebrity, doesn't matter. If you do the crime here, you do the time. We prosecute to the fullest. We don't give out special
It's not like he's got a fucking criminal record like most of the people that we react to. By the age he's fucking 18, he's got a fucking CVS receipt, right? I mean, come on.
So if you're going to do dumb things...
This is the kind of person that you would give the slap on the wrist to, hoping that they learn their lesson. And if they don't, then you come back and bring down the full hammer of the law. You know what I'm saying?
Expect to get, serious results.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite possible this is the first time you actually see Clavicular get a little bit more than just a slap on the wrist.
What does the consequences look like?
Again, I can't get out ahead of the investigators and the prosecutors here. They get in trouble. I get in trouble enough with them. Well,
that's bullshit because Legal Mindset talked about it. I think this dude's just talking out of his ass. Legal Mindset went down and broke down the specific laws of it. Said what he could be charged with, what he couldn't be charged with.
Frustrated with me, but you're looking at a time of years.
And the Attorney General acknowledges that he can't come out in front of the investigation or he'll get in trouble, but he sounds very confident that Clavicular will be served some real justice for how he acted on the airboat. And if we see kick streamers get years for opening fire on an alligator at the height of their fame, he may go down as one of the biggest idiots in streaming history, at least when it comes to some of the largest creators. We have some Hall of Fame morons that he hasn't topped out yet, but this is maybe one of the more viral incidents. But for now, we will have to wait to see what actually unfolds, whether it's a felony.
There's nothing that's going to happen to him. You know why that is? It's because this isn't Korea, first and foremost. And number two, he's already been released on bail. So at most, he's going to show up to court. He's going to be given maybe, if he's really unlucky, some community service and a huge, massive fine. And that's it.
Charge for the gator or some sort of combination for the assault charges. It's honestly anyone's guess for what's going to happen. Because the whole Tesla thing, that was crazy. And I don't think anyone thought that he was just going to get away scot-free after.
Because you have to realize that all these incidents have been different things. The Tesla thing was its own thing. I think he got arrested for having marijuana. And then there's also the recent assault thing, and now the FAA charge. Like, how the fuck is anybody supposed to know that shooting at a drone violates the FAA? Who the fuck knows that?
It seems like he did. But his roommate did, however, let some interesting information slip on stream. So he's heavily implying that Clavicular is not arrested and not in trouble, and I guess is just chilling. And everyone on Twitter was just creating conspiracies.
Hey guys,
they are. That's Twitter in a nutshell. What do you think Twitter? I'm sorry, not Twitter. I'm thinking of Reddit. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Reddit. My bad.
He's just chilling. Like people were coming up with so much conspiracy theories. Like, but no, he's just literally just chilling right now. Yeah, were you reading the Twitter com?
When?
Like today? Yeah. They were coming up with conspiracies of what happened to Clav.
I know.
Like, holy shit, did he get arrested again? Did he? No, he's just laying.
And that's really what happened here. Is that it's just a bunch of people that started making a whole lot of nonsense. All right, we got the God, the King himself. Baldi's back.
Hi guys, it's me again, and today
you look like shit. You look like shit.
Hey, I thought we'd talk.
Oh, bad Asman.
About misinformation on the internet. I thought that, I don't know, now would be a good time. So in the past 2 or 3 years, I don't know about you guys, but I have seen such a massive, dramatic 10x multiplier amount of videos on the internet that are either totally fucking fake, misleading, or anything else in between, sometimes even both. And I know I hear people sometimes say, oh,
is this hairline coming back or is it just me? Usually his hairline's like way further. Is it me or Is his hairline looking a little different?
Well, I don't see as many AI videos anymore.
Oh, that's bullshit. There's plentiful. And as of right now, you can tell that they're AI. Just imagine, remember, this is the worst it's ever going to be. This is literally the worst AI is ever going to be.
Yeah, I wonder why. And so anyway, I think this is what's happened.
Well, you realize that AI was topping everything everywhere. First, AI shorts were the most watched on YouTube. They had to tighten down the tap on that because of people complaining about it. It was the same thing with Spotify. The most watched songs in the world were on Spotify, and they were AI made. They had to tighten down the tap on that. Cutting off the tap is like not showing it to as many people, is what I'm referring to. Like, these videos are made with the sole purpose of being the absolute optimized for algorithms. These videos are going to far surpass anything any human can make, just by nature itself, just like the nature of the content. You're not going to beat AI. I'm sorry. You're a human. The AI is a fucking machine.
There's so much misinformation. There is so many people trying to mislead you, trying to cause you to think something that isn't true, trying to manufacture a false consensus. It's like the dead internet theory is almost reassuring.
And you're right. It is dumbass content. A lot of it is. Some of it's kind of interesting, like the Bigfoot vlog and the Boom Morphed Again. I thought that shit was funny. But a lot of it is people trying to make a quick buck by buying an AI system, using it to make a video, and then the algorithm immediately promoting it because it's AI. Like, you can dislike the videos as much as you want until they have an actual regulation for it. It's going to immediately go to the top. And they have added regulations since its launch. They have. Like,
because at least that means that nobody else would be harmed. But the reality is that there are a lot of people on the internet that are being let off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, they're being let off a cliff because they see the Twitter page of the Supreme Leader as a cardboard cutout. They're saying that he's alive, and then they're posting AI videos of the USS Abraham Lincoln being blown up for the 7th time, and the B-2 bomber that isn't even to scale being transported on a U.S. highway that's quote-unquote in Iran, or all of the fucking game video trailers or gameplay of games like Arma 2 being used to push propaganda in Iran to act like they're actually blowing stuff up.
By an AI video that didn't even exist. And so what I think the really, like, the point where I think the biggest flashpoint for this for me has been
Middle East.
The recent conflict in Iran.
Yeah.
Is that everybody is making up bullshit about this. It's like I'll watch a video and I'll be like, oh, well, what's going on here? Is this happening? Nope, it was in 2021. Oh, is this happening? Nope, that was in Ukraine. Oh, but is this happening? Nope, that's actually not even fucking real. And then, oh, as a bonus, is this happening? It's actually Arma 3, the video game.
Yeah, that's right.
And so what I think has happened is that you've had so many of these different types of manipulations, and why are they happening? Why do we have all of these manipulations?
Well, it's because, well, number one, with Iran, it's because they are trying to maintain their thumb and rule of power over these poor people that haven't been giving a proper education, or really, for that matter, access to the media like that. So they're pushing this propaganda all over their national television, saying that this is what happened. We're winning. You guys are going to remain our slaves for the rest of y'all's lives. Get used to it. And then to keep them from rioting in the streets and realizing what's really going on, they're also threatening them. Like, that's what's going on here. And they're trying to use the demoralization tactic while they're losing massively in the Middle East. That's what's going on with it.
Well, it's very simple. Behavior follows incentives. How many of these manipulations are not being paid? The overwhelming majority of them are being paid for this. So they're making money off of misleading people, and big surprise, you're upset that they're misleading people. Of course they are. They are following an incentive. And I think that that incentive is the strongest on Twitter. I know that they're trying to fix this, but unfortunately, to the extent that you have basically this is what I think Twitter should do, because I think that AI and fake information on Twitter is the absolute worst. I think it is the worst platform for fake information. And just because, again, it's text message, image, and you can effectively turn off replies. There's a lot of ways that you can do it and like have people not really notice whether you're lying to them or not. What they need to do is they need to change it into something like the YouTube Partnerships program, where you don't
you are aware that I take my hoodie off stream, right? I'm not going to put my hoodie... I'm not going to put my hoodie in the dirty laundry because I wore it for 3.5 hours. You understand how unreasonable that is? I don't... And it's not like I'm even doing anything. That doesn't even make a sense. That makes sense. Like, who cares?
automatically default somebody a
You do realize I'm in Texas, right? It's like 80 degrees outside. Do you think I wear a hoodie all damn day?
You don't automatically default somebody a revenue plan. They have to earn that and then have that given to them by going through
I don't even know why I
series of
engage with
checks
that.
and rigor. Because whenever you don't have that, well, you have the 900th different.
I mean, like, even if I did, like, here's another thing. Even if I did, let's say I don't wash my clothes for a month. I don't do anything. I work out 5 days a week. I change out of clothing to do that. I run for 16 minutes. And then I take a shower and immediately get back into the same clothing. Like, what point of just lazing around like, if I have to go out, I change into different clothing in case I don't know, I fucking have to do shit. Like, does it truly matter if you're not doing anything in the clothing? I don't understand where this comes from. Like, I could understand if I, like, take the same clothing out and about and in Texas heat, like, all day, every day, come back, sleep in it, and, like, I take a shower every day. I just don't get it. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
Or anti-Iran account that's posting images of either Ukraine or Israel getting bombed, saying it's either Iran or Israel or the opposite, right? And so basically that's what I think is really happening, is that people are responding to incentives. They're seeing that basically making and pushing out fake information is something that has almost zero consequences. And I think that this is also, like, you've got to hold yourselves accountable for this. And by yourselves, I'm talking about myself as well. Is that really when we find out that somebody's posting something that's bullshit, instead of asking them to correct themselves, we just move past it. And I think it's one of the unfortunate realities of the extremely fast 24-hour news cycle that we live in nowadays, is that, you know, even things like, for example, do you remember when Obama kind of like said that there might be aliens on...
What? Hey, we're registered for... You are a very strange individual.
On a podcast,
you should know that.
And like, this is a huge big deal. Yeah, that was last month. That might as well have just not happened. Let's think about the time that Trump obviously released the Epstein files. How many people are talking about the Epstein files now? Substantially less than what they were. Mm-hmm. And you can check this all by Google Trends if you're unsure about any of this. And
Google Trends is great. if you're a YouTuber or a streamer and you want to know what games are currently getting the most views, do Google Trends. It's like a site that shows you everything that's trending on Google.
So what I think has happened is that the news cycles are so fast nowadays that there's never any room for, not only is there no room for corrections, but there's also no room even for accountability.
Yep.
And what's really happened is that people, instead of questioning what they're seeing, they just move on to the next thing. And so there's never any accountability whenever a news source gets something wrong, whenever they say
like BBC. Like, a lot of people don't know that I have videos on the channel, Asman has videos on his channel, of the BBC that had to take a L lawsuit from Donald Trump for the insurrection, January 6th insurrection. The press conference and the speech that he gave was altered in such a way that made Trump seem like he was egging on or trying to make the January 6th insurrection happen. Like, that's the kind of misinformation that if you're really not paying attention to everything that's going on, you're going to miss that. And that's big. They were trying to charge Trump and put him in jail for that.
Something that's inaccurate. There's never an evaluation as to whether, was this done on purpose? Was it done out of just a mistake? Was it done out of haste? Why did this happen? And it's never discussed at all. And I think this is a huge problem. And the reason why is because if you have people that are, again, past performance is an indicator of future performance, guess what? If somebody is regularly posting bullshit,
I just told you that the BBC lost a lawsuit for the speech that he gave that was edited in such a way that made him seem like he was saying that. Do you understand what that means, or are you just too fucking dumb to understand that? No fucking shit, you saw it on national television. And you know what happened? Whenever Trump was getting charged for it, he managed to get out of the charges because they saw the actual footage and what he said. And then whenever he got back into office, he sued the fuck out of the BBC. Rightfully so. There's proof. Watch the news, morons. Again, the speech was edited in. I know what. There you go.
Shit. Guess what they're going to post?
Bye,
after
dumb fuck.
that?
Bye.
Probably more bullshit. So what happens is that people are listening to this, they're paying attention to it, and then they see, oh my god, it's another piece of shit. It's another thing that's not even true. And people they're never able to connect the dots here. And so not only does the audience not hold them accountable, people don't really care. And this is another big issue. I've talked about this before. I don't want to get into it too much.
Jeez,
but
what a waste of time that was.
critical thinking is dead. Critical thinking is dead. And
Oh yeah. It's dead, and it's also not being taught in schools as well. It's not just dead, it's like buried.
Killed it. And the way that we have killed it is with dogmatic, ideological, thinking that effectively behaves like a religion. People have replaced, Christianity or Islam with, the Democrats or the Republicans, with gender ideology, with any form of, political dogma. And so now people don't want to go against that political dogma. I think that human beings have a core desire. Like, imagine the human mind is like a car, and the car can drive 200 fucking miles an hour. It can go super, 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 super fast, but the brake system sucks. And I think that's what's happened with the human mind, is that our ability to...
Well, it doesn't help that kids are basically being spawn camped at birth now with all this damn information. Like, all these tablets that are just being put in their hands, and they're not even given the time to, learn how to talk now. Like, now we got kids that are so stupid, their math scores are, 20-30% of what they used to be. Some of them can't even spell their own fucking name. Like, it's a joke. It's gonzo, man.
Critically think, to perceive our realities, to be able to understand the world around us, has vastly outpaced, multiple times outpaced, our ability to cope with it. To cope with those conclusions. To ask yourself, well, what does happen after you die? Well, what does happen if you do this or that? Well, what is really the right and the fair thing to do? And people are afraid of these questions because they're afraid of the answers. And what they do instead of that is they look for an ideology that's going to answer all of those questions for them so they never have to think about it again. And that's what's happened with critical thinking. Before, people used to outsource it to religion. Now they outsource it to politics, religion, or political dogma. And so what's happened is that you've had a massive entire ecosystem and culture of people that are terrified of saying the wrong thing. They're terrified of having the wrong opinion. They're terrified against going against the oftentimes manufactured consensus. And what happens is that you look at somebody like J.K. Rowling, for example, or even Elon Musk, for another example, or anybody else who's seen as a, I guess people would get mad. I don't want to name off a bunch of other content creators, just I don't want to start drama, but we all know content creators that, somebody said one thing that was wrong, they said one thing that was off color, or they didn't have the right opinion.
The Burnt Peanut said that. He said that America was a great place to live and that we have black flying Doritos that are worth more than the GDP of some countries. Peanut's a good example of that.
About the right topic.
Ever since he said that, the internet tried to cancel him because they were trying to say that he view bots.
At the right time, and for some reason, now...
Clav's political views are almost the spot on from Asmongold. Almost exactly spot on. And what are they trying to do? They're trying to bury him.
They're a fucking Nazi. Well, guess what? Somebody's not a Nazi because they're not seeing your point of view. But
exactly. Oh my God.
Internet, that's the way it works now. And so what's happened is that we've created a culture of fear, a culture of repressed critical thinking, because nobody wants to think for themselves. And how does this relate to misinformation? Let me explain. The reason how this relates to misinformation, I hope that I've explained and you understand why critical thinking is dead. Critical thinking is dead is because people are afraid of the conclusions and they don't want to come out against the consensus, because if they do, they might get ostracized from their group and then nobody will like them. And then you can never wash that stain off because people do not believe in forgiveness, they don't believe in apologies, they don't believe in understanding. The hater economy on the internet is going stronger than ever. The Dow is at 50,000, the hater economy is at 50 million. So the fact is that people are terrible.
Well, it's because they've got a lot of these radicals that are outspoken, that are trying to gas people up to start killing other people that have opposing political views. And a lot of this stops when the FBI steps in and starts arresting these people that are advocating for political violence online. Think about how many people would be alive if the FBI would step up and start arresting these people that are posting online saying, oh, I'm happy Kirk's dead, now we got to go after their family. Oh, ha, 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 these people got what they deserved. Alex Peretti got what he deserved. Renee Good got, no. Yeah, I mean, some of it, sure. But when you're advocating for the death of people, before it happens and you're sitting there and you're going, oh well, we need to take out X, Y, and Z. The FBI needs to instantaneously be knocking on your door. It is not freedom of speech to advocate killing of somebody. That is not freedom of speech. Especially if it's for a political reason, it's terrorism. You are trying to incite fear on your political opponents in order to keep them quiet. That is a form of terrorism. Ladies and gents.
Terrified of having the wrong opinion, and critical thinking can sometimes lead you to the wrong opinion. Trust the science? Okay, well, I heard the science is two genders. Oh, wait a minute. That's not the right type of science.
Well, you have to be careful with science now, too, because, think about it this way. Why is it that we don't do more studies on third world countries and figure out why their IQs are so low? Well, it's because they're shitholes, and in order for the people that are trying to sell that every race and every country and every religion is equal, Well, they've got to make sure they maintain that shroud. Well, what happens if, come to find out, because a race of inbred people that are constantly doing their cousins have naturally lower IQs because they're trying to push communism instead of the basic math equation? And like, do you think that you can compare a place like Somalia to China? No. The vast majority of those IQ differences are staggering. You're never going to be able to compare those two places. It's obvious, blatantly obvious, and they're trying to make sure that anyone that comes up with any study is completely shut down, called racist, called these things, so that way they can maintain this shroud. That's what it's all about.
And so anyway, this happens quite often. So we'll go back over and we'll talk about misinformation. Does anybody actually want to correct the misinformation about something that everybody that's, quote, on their side is eating up like a bunch of fucking candy? No, absolutely not. Nobody wants to go and correct the information that shows Israel getting bombed 500 times and tell them, actually, this is from Independence Day. Or, well, this is from a video game. Or something else. Or this is from 2019. And or Iran or anything else. And or like, oh, the new supreme leader of the day has now been killed again. Well, I hear this every single day. The guy gets killed every day. It's the same guy, right? I mean, must pretty much suck. That's the worst version of Groundhog Day that I could imagine. Wake up every day, you're the supreme leader of Iran, and then you die, and then it happens again the day after. Sounds pretty fucking bad, but according to Twitter, that's the world that we're in. So what I think has happened is that you've had so much misinformation, the information cycle, and this is one of the real pieces of, I think, genius that George Orwell had with, 1984, is that it was not necessarily that the news was all a lie. It was that there was so much misinformation and so much information in general that the deluge of it was so overwhelming that the mind of a person could not even comprehend the complexities, the amount of just pure volume of it, and everything. And because of that, it is effectively the sheer size of it has lulled people into a sense of effectively powerlessness. They can't overcome this. They can't reason it out. They can't understand it. And so they just simply opt to not understand and to just listen to what they're told. Exactly. And I think, again, this is out of, I said before, fear, but it's also out of apathy and a lack of control. So what's happened is that people are now accepting of misinformation. They don't want to correct misinformation because people, as soon as somebody makes up their mind on something, well, they don't want to change their mind, because changing your mind...
they don't want to admit that they're wrong. That's what it boils down to. If you can't admit that you're wrong, you can't be trusted. I'm sorry, but you can't. If you can never ever admit that you're wrong, you're dishonest. That's just all there is to it. You can't waste your time or life on somebody that's going to sit here and never admit that they're wrong. That means that they're willing to lie to themselves to make their narrative and their, what they would call, truth as real as possible. You can't trust these people to tell the truth to you. They can't even tell the truth to themselves. So you can't headbutt or argue with somebody like this. They're stupid. They're dumb. You want to talk about morals, but whenever you get proven wrong with something, you still can't admit it. It's just, you have no morals.
That you are wrong.
It's the hypocrisy. It's the hypocrites out and about.
Never want to admit that you were wrong. And I understand that, oh, that's not the way you should think about it. That's nice. That's
What do I have to be ashamed of as an American? Cynical Owl, 1999. What is there to be ashamed of as an American? What do I have to be ashamed of? Don't insult Nazis by calling Asmongold Nazi, please. How is Asmongold a Nazi? How is Asmongold a Nazi? This is going to be your last question before I perma you if you don't answer it. Give me an instance of Asmongold being a Nazi. If you don't answer, I'm still going to ban you. You've got until 9:45. Where should I start? Trump? Educational system? How's that Nazism? Education, your political sciences, your average school shootings, and I just said that Asmongold is a Nazi. Well, saying something doesn't make it true. I hate to break it to you. I don't know what world you live in where just saying something makes it true. Oh, is not a Nazi. Don't insult Nazis by calling Asmon. Oh, so you're saying he's worse than a Nazi. I see. So you're for the Nazis? So how is Asmongold worse than a Nazi? I mean, last time I checked, he doesn't own a gas chamber. He isn't pulling wedding rings off of people, putting them in a pile, and then systematically killing and experimenting on humans. Last time I checked. But I mean, like, I don't really think there's going to be any reasoning with this. Keep up. You asked 2 questions. Focus. So I should be ashamed because of Trump, my educational system, and my political science? What the fuck? Trump's the best president we've had in a long time. I live in the best country in the world. We have the most money. We're the wealthiest country in the entire world. We have the biggest army in the world. We have the most advanced technology in the world. And we finally got somebody with the balls to use it. What's there to be ashamed about? I agree our educational system could probably be reformed. Sure, but it's still better than any third world. Hell, we got shit. We got the big black flying Dorito that's worth more than the GDP of any fucking third world country. We have 3.1 million soldiers. Best country in the fucking world. I've got nothing to be ashamed of. Let me tell you something. Every day that we bomb a terrorist in Iran is a beautiful day in America. I will give you one thing. You make me laugh very hard connecting race and IQ and then say you are educated? Holy moly. I never said I was educated. Maybe you should keep up. Maybe you should listen to what I'm saying. Instead of trying to push your ideology, maybe you should actually absorb the knowledge that's being given to you. I never once said that our education system was the best. But it doesn't really matter whenever we're nowhere near most other countries. China or Japan probably have the best education systems. And you know why? Because they don't have as much freedom as we do here. That's it. That's talking shit is... I'm like half asleep, bro, and I'm still fine. Like, dude, you are watching Asmongold for political philosophy. Is that a sign of being the best? Is it really the best? What the fuck does that even mean? Nobody said anything about being the best of anything. Whether you like it or not, we have the most military, we have the biggest military in the world. We have the most money in the world. We have the biggest economy in the world. Sitting here and criticizing Asmongold doesn't change that fact, fucktard. But it does get you banned, because you're stupid. Because you're just dumb. You're brain dead.
It's nice. Go back to Reddit. So if you
right?
go over to
go back to Reddit, dumbass.
World, no, people don't like changing their opinion. There's a reason why the concept of anchoring exists, especially with sales, but also you're selling an idea. So keep in mind that's the way people think of things. And so once you can create that first impression with misinformation, you can then use that first impression to create even a secondary, well, that was fake, but you know, this secondary thing is also still kind of true. And I think this is what happens. And it begins a self-radicalization spiral. And you see this happen with
They don't look like you got anything nice to say. We just gonna perma you, dumbass.
certain creators.
Enjoy the Shadow Realm. If you're new here, sub to the channel. We're every day. We're live every day reacting to Moist Critical. We're here reacting to IGN in the morning. We got Bellular News. We got Asmongold. We got Fox News. We here every day, 8 a.m. to 11:30. We watch police videos.
Engaging with other
good shit here.
Vitriolic,
we pull people up and make fun of their stupidity and call them out.
Or problematic content.
If you're new here, hit the @ and their username and talk to these idiots in chat. Call them out. I strongly recommend y'all do that. I advocate for it constantly. You know, make sure these people know what kind of chat they're in.
Content, they alienate the audience that was more,
their time of oppressing people from their third world shithole is over.
Normal. And instead of that, they replace them with the people that
hit like on the stream. Every like helps. Check out that membership. We got that channel membership with the exclusive emotes. Check that out too. Handmade by myself. I have no editor. It's just me every single day. Streaming.
That's what crazy people want.
Keep it up with the latest news.
Who would have guessed? And so then you now have to continue upping the ante. This happens with IRL streamers a lot, like nuisance streamers. The conclusion of every nuisance streamer is jail. That's the way it is. That's how it is. Every single one of them, if you just let it progress naturally, they will end up in jail. Because you start being annoying, and then you be really annoying, then you're confrontational, then you're violent, then you're really violent, then you're in jail. Because you always have to keep upping the ante in order to maintain the attention of the audience. And I think that's what happened with a lot of different creators, and it's what will continue to happen as well, because it's basic human psychology. And I think that there are a lot of people out there who try to subvert this. They try to say that, oh, well, we need to be better. We need to be better. Listen, we were doing crucifixions 2,000 years ago. In 2,000 years from now, we'll probably still be doing them. Maybe we'll bring it back. And so...
Man, I still think that if they need... Bam Bondi needs to go to jail, and then all the Senate members, including the president, needs to go into the White House and the Oval Office or whatever. Not the Oval Office, the White House, on the Senate floor. And what they need to do is get that guy that wants to unredact everything that's been pushing really hard. He needs to sit down on the White House floor and start naming people that did things that they shouldn't have been doing in those files. And then, like, we need to have, like that scene from Oh Brothers Where Art Thou, where the guys come in with the cross and pick up that guy running for mayor, and they put him on the cross and they carry him out, and they should stake him on the White House lawn. That's what we need to do. send a message. That's what we need to be doing.
The point is that the human mind is not evolving as fast as you think it is. And at the same time, these basic human psychological realities are not despawning. They're not going away. They're actually becoming more entrenched and actually more, basically more compromised. They're being played to. They're being taken advantage of in a much higher ratio because now you have these companies that realize, well, wait a minute, if we can just feed this retard an endless amount of information about the thing that makes him the most angry, he won't be able to stop using our app. And so now you have these people whose like blood pressure is being raised. It's like effectively these companies are killing people because their blood pressure goes up 20 points the moment they open the fucking app. And they're sitting there getting angry, tapping out these little fucking responses, and they're arguing with either a Pakistani or a bot. Well, actually, that's not true. Probably both. And so what's happened is that the amount of misinformation on the internet has just increased so much. Places like Twitter pay people for uploading it. Places on the internet, like news websites, if enough people report on it and start talking about it, the news websites talk about it, and sometimes they reinforce it, and there's never any due diligence, and if there is, it's like 2 weeks after the fact. It's like this story has already completely made its way around the globe, and now, nobody's even talking about it. And they don't even think about the correction, because the narrative has already been established and it's already moved past that original fake fact. And so what's happened, I think, is that we've created a culture of misinformation.
Yeah.
Now,
and it's only gonna get even worse, and there's only gonna be more stupid people that are gonna be willing to get themselves killed, calling ICE the Gestapo and trying to run over federal agents. That's all. It's only gonna get worse.
The way that
these people are so fucking stupid. They're marching kids out of school now, and getting them lost. Like, what are we doing?
This and how you deal with it is you have to look at incentives. Why do people push misinformation? They push misinformation, and again, I'm not talking about COVID or something like that. I'm talking about literal AI.
Hey, you do realize that if the government wants to make you sit inside of your house for days on end, they do it. You know why? COVID. That's what they did with COVID. This mentality of, well, the government's doing this, they're trying to do this and that, and if they wanted to do that, they'd do it. And you know what you would do about it? Not a damn thing. You're able to go out there and fuck around because you're not scared of being shot in the back of the fucking head. That's why. You know you're privileged. We all know you're privileged. That's why you're out there marching kids out of classrooms. That's why you're out there making a fool of yourself, acting like you own everything, kicking the taillights off of federal agents' cars. That's why you're out there ready to run over a federal agent. That's why you're getting yourself shot and killed. Because it's crazy that they sit here and they're like, oh, but this and that and that and this. It's all fun and games until somebody gets shot and killed. And you know what I haven't seen a lot of lately? News articles about federal agents being ran over. You know what I haven't seen lately? People riding in the streets with guns. I don't understand where this mentality comes from of, well, if the government's going to tell me to do this, I'm not going to do it. Well, no, you would. You would do it. Because you did it for COVID. So, what makes this any different?
So I'm talking about videos that are posted as if they were today and it was 5 years ago. I have no problem with somebody posting a stupid opinion, but I do have a problem with people that are posting opinions and information that is deliberately misleading. And if those people are getting paid for it, then you can guarantee that you're going to have a lot more of it. Because I can also promise you that fake news will always be more exciting than real news. Because again, the sky's the limit. Fiction is generally much more exciting than nonfiction. I've never heard of a single dragon in real life. And so what's happened is that you've had these things kind of evolve and grow out of control, and now there is an entire ecosystem of people that are consuming this fake information, and they're being rewarded for it. They're getting more of it. They're being paid for it, and then you have people that are building their careers around it. And how do you actually stop?
Asmongold has done more for this country than the presidents have done in the past 10 years. And you know why? Because he gave America its freedom of speech back. He wasn't going to sit down and let these Karens run their Karenocracy, mass import illegals, and continue to oppress American people by using these DEI programs that will allow people of any other ethnicity than a white male, or gender for that matter, continue to get hired in the workplace and ruin games. You think that Asmund is this side guy that isn't really doing much for the world? He's done more sitting down, speaking the truth, and not being scared of being canceled than any other platformed YouTuber, streamer has done for this country. He gave Americans their voice back, and he's still collectively doing it every single day. He is a cold-blooded patriot that is willing to bomb a race of terrorists into glass, same as I. Asmongold isn't just a legend. Asmongold is a myth at this point. He has, like, is there even anything that's above being a legend? Like, let's be honest here. Even when he's not live, he still has influence. W. Asmongold.
This from happening. Well, you have to stop giving them fucking money. And I think that needs to be the point where you look at it. Now, Twitter has been trying their best to
Off you go to war, then you too. Comfortable in your silly hoodie and his... Ew. You're just stupid. Where did that other person go? Let's play Asmongold VODs. Yeah, do you have a problem with it? If can't read, you can't spell, supposed to be apostrophe there, fucktard. If you're gonna correct me on something, the least you can do is correct yourself. Learn how to spell. All you do is play Asmongold VODs, videos. 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 No one uses VODs. If you're gonna do this, the least you can do is do it right.
to stop this and shut it down, but I'll give it a few weeks and we'll see what happens. Right now it sure seems like it's a pretty big problem, but my in general opinion,
and what you should be saying is Asmongold's with apostrophe S videos. So can't even fucking put your sentence together. Don't sit here and criticize me, dumbass.
This problem will only continue to get worse, but there is a silver lining, and I will talk about the silver lining. The silver lining is the fact that if you're not a fucking idiot, it is a lot easier to understand things, and you have a tremendous advantage nowadays. And on top of that, everybody in the world is developing a general distrust of believing what they see. And I don't know if you've noticed this before, but every single image, even if it's something like, there's an image of, Pearl Harbor, and, you'll see 4 comments, Grok, is this AI? Well, you know what? It's retarded. Yes, it's retarded. But it's an investigation. It's a level of thinking. It's a level of questioning that I think
My mom's dead. My mom's dead, and I don't really know my dad. Where are you at? These comments are just said and is so misguided, hearts full of judgment and hate. Wade trying to discuss logic and reality, and y'all just focused on tearing. Oh, yeah, no, that's all they do. They have to attack me as a person because they can't attack any of the arguments. That's all they can do. He must be right if people want to make him look like... Yeah, like, that's all they can do. They can only try to... disenfranchise you by calling you a red or a liberal or a... or making fun of how you look. Oh, but Aspen has no hair. He looks like a cockroach. Ha ha ha. Okay, great. But have you considered any of the points that he's made? Why not attack them? If you want to call somebody stupid, the least you can do is attack their argument instead of what they look like. Well, no fucking shit he looks the way he does. Who fucking cares? What do you have to say about the argument?
For such a long time.
No one gives a fuck, bro.
And the
Shit, I had some idiot retard in here yesterday that was calling me poor and making fun of me being poor. Oh yeah, no fucking shit. Okay? Hate to break it to you, but the majority of people are living paycheck to paycheck unless you're the 1% of America. And no fucking shit.
Lining of this age of
by that definition, you could technically be poor.
Is that it's also going to lead forward to an age of skepticism. It's going to lead forward to people reflexively just believing that...
Exactly. We all poor, man. If you coming up in my comments and you calling me poor and making fun of me being poor, bro, you in the wrong place because you about to be eaten alive by the comments. That's all I got to say to you.
What? This might not even be true. And I think that's very long overdue because people for a very, very long time had trusted the mainstream media. I think COVID really severed this. But before that, and even now to an extent, if they're saying the things that you agree with, people do trust the mainstream media. And I think the problem with trusting the mainstream media is that they don't necessarily lie, but they do misrepresent. And they misrepresent in a way that can effectively completely shift the feeling, the intent, the goal, or anything like that. They can shift it entirely. And I think that people would just accept that unquestioningly. And I think that one of the silver linings of the age of misinformation that we're entering into now is that that is calling into question everything. It's calling into question all information, all sources, all like different, all primary information, all videos, all images. And I think that now that we've also created other secondary sources for people being able to, say, hey, this isn't true. Hey,
yeah, that's right. They completely got rid of the middle class because of how rich the rich people got. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we all poor now. We all live in paycheck to paycheck, bro.
This is not real. And being able to detect this, I do think that there will be a long-term positive effect, but it will take a lot longer than you might imagine. But hopefully, the main thing that I really hope for is that they're able to get rid of the people getting paid for this stuff, right? I don't have a problem. I don't want to have people get banned, right? I don't want people to get banned. But if you're posting fake information and AI videos and stuff like that, and you're presenting it as if it's real, well, then you've got to...
You should get banned. You should get banned. If like on YouTube, for example, there is a information or like education section, and you have to present a question and then answer it, and then the video will go through review, and then you can post it as education. If you post a video and you claim that it's real and you try to post it as if it's real, and it's not, and you don't correct yourself like you're supposed to do, if come to find out you got misinformation, you need to be banned. You do. You need to be held accountable for that. Like, that's why I think that those accounts that are posting all that AI bullshit slop that's coming from Iran, all that shit, or Iran, all that shit needs to be permabanned. That needs to be completely dismantled and taken off the site.
Pretty big problem. And I think that it's pretty obvious to see how this is an issue. So, again, I don't want to see anybody get banned. I don't want to see anybody get censored. But I don't want to see those fuckers get paid either. And I think that's a big problem. And the more that you have these people getting paid, the more this issue will continue to grow.
Obviously.
I wanted to talk about this because I think it's going to keep getting worse. But
I do feel like if you're not getting paid to push it, that's a little different. But if you're putting something under a category that is for, like, actual news and information, and you're spreading misinformation, you need to be permabanned if you're making money on it. Because you know better.
I think we were very close to the
You
climax.
can't say they don't know better. They know better.
And after that, I could see things beginning to improve, get better, and for the, global internet awareness or the consciousness to have a much larger degree of skepticism, even with things that they believe. And that's what I hope for, and that, in my opinion, is the best thing that could come out of misinformation, but goddamn is it a painful road. So anyway, I wanted to talk about this with you guys today. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate it, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Anyway, what is this here? A trans activist shame a Korean spa in San Francisco? Okay, well, let's go ahead and listen to this.
This was in San Francisco?
So I'm just curious, do you have an anti-trans policy? Are trans people not allowed to be here?
So if you have the female part, you go.
So if you have female parts, you go to the female side?
Go to the female side. If you have the male part, you go to the male side.
I'm not sure what you're meaning by
as in,
What are your reproductive systems, dumbass? What are your reproductive systems? You got a dick or a vajayjay? What do you have? She's being too kind. Like, I would be kind at first, but then after that, I would be like, okay, you're a problem. You're a problem child. Okay. So you got a dick and balls, or you got a vajayjay, bruh? What you got?
as in like physical parts, as in like your gender.
What you got?
Yes. If you have the
Or just be like, okay, let me see your ID. What you got?
woman genital still, you go to the woman's side. And if you have the male genital, a penis, you go to the male side.
Well, what about women who have penises and men who have vaginas?
We're not talking about the 3% or the 1% of all, like, mankind. What do you have? That's obviously not you. That's obviously not you. What do you have?
We go based on genital parts.
So you would put a man in the women's room?
We just go based off genitals, so you were with...
What does it say on your ID? What does it say on your fucking ID?
Sign with the male has the genital part.
If you put a man in the
People are so fucking tired of this bullshit, bro. They're so fucking tired of this shit.
They're trying to be so reasonable. They're trying to be so
They are. They really
Just for
are.
context.
I'm not even. I would probably get fired that day. I'm not even kidding.
Because I genuinely thought this was a staged video for rage bait, but no. I was able to track down the source, and the
Oh no!
video literally opens, showing the address of the spa, trying to get people to boycott them. Then goes into a huge rant. It's actually real.
My friend said he wanted to ask them about their policies. I got my phone ready because I had a feeling it would not go well.
They're so reasonable. There's such dishonesty.
If you put a man in the women's room, you're going to have huge problems. You can't say that somebody's not a man based on what their parts are. If they're licensed...
These people are doing such irreparable damage to the entire LGBTQ community.
They're gonna get rights taken away doing this. They are. They already have started. Again, if you don't control your radicals, you will be defined by them. You have to control these people.
This is insane. I wonder, it's like, are these people like secret transphobes? And like they're doing this in order to make them look bad?
Based on what their parts are. If they're licensed and what they have said they are a man, you can't say that they're not allowed to go in a particular room.
That's our policy. So
Is that their where's that policy?
I've never actually seen
Yeah,
that. So you have genitalia written into your policy? Can I see
but
that,
it
please?
it's
Part
not
of your policy?
written, but we still go based off.
Yeah, it's not written because it's common fucking sense.
It's literally not how anybody defines men and women, especially in San Francisco.
It's really, really sad to see this happen, especially whenever you're targeting immigrant businesses where you have people that don't really understand English very well. You're trying to catch them in like some sort of like verbal trick and then make them look bad. The bullying.
It's fine. I would never come back here, and I wouldn't ever tell anyone.
Please don't. Trust me, you are saving them the headache. And you know what? It's a good thing these people do this stuff for online clout. Because when they do this, there are people that will look at that and be like, I'm going there because they don't fuck around. If I had a business like this and they sat here and did this bullshit, I would be like, please don't come back here. You're being trespassed off the property. What do you have in your pants is what's going to determine what side you're going to. But the 1%, I don't care. What do you have? Don't waste my fucking time. You're wasting my fucking time. That is the one resource that every human being has a finite amount of. Don't waste your time dealing with stupidity.
You guys should really be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah, this is shameful behavior.
These are going to be people that are going to radicalize the public against trans issues because of how dishonest, aggressive, and ridiculous this sounds.
Island Boy.
Okay. Oh, this is more about that, like, teen takeover or whatever bullshit. Look at it this way. Look at it this way. You've got an entire upcoming generation of teens that know that no matter how hard they work, they'll never achieve the old school American lifestyle. They'll never make millions of dollars. They'll never move up in a company. Doesn't matter how many years they spend in college and how much debt they go into. They'll never uncover from it. They realize that you'll never be able to support yourself on one working income. You're going to have to hold like 3 jobs now. They understand where everything's going. And then you got these people being bussed in and giving a place to live, free healthcare, transportation, food, money, and you expect these people to just be okay with it? This younger generation isn't as stupid as a lot of people want to make them out to be. They know full well what's going on. You know why? They see their parents. They see what their parents and their grandparents are going through.
Okay, we'll keep it with the driving theme and when things don't work out.
I don't agree with what they're doing, but at the same time, if you want to continue to ignore it and not address it, I don't know what to tell you.
Teenagers taking over streets across the nation now. Those scenes from Los Angeles, just a glimpse of what cities are dealing with, and it's not just LA. Right now, city council members in Washington, D.C. are preparing to vote on extending the emergency youth curfew meant to curb these wild events. You're watching Outnumbered. I'm Harris Faulkner here with my co-host Emily Campagno. Joining us today, Molly Line, Fox News correspondent, Lisa Booth, Fox News political analyst, and with us for the first time, Captain Barry Butch Wilmore, former NASA astronaut and author of Stuck in Space, as astronauts hope through the unexpected. Amazing. Okay, I can't go on with any stories without touching with you. First of all, welcome.
Into the feed, just turned on my iPad, and Fox, this is wild.
Okay, but hopefully it doesn't feel as stuck as you did up there. No. All right. Well, you are outnumbered.
I am indeed.
But not outdone.
No.
The trend is now spreading. In the last few months, police in 11 cities have responded to takeovers, some of which...
Damn, Florida! Woo!
Violent. Many of them events are organized on social media, so they're getting bigger as more people respond. Like this one. Let's take a look. It turned a Wisconsin mall into a madhouse. Videos show hundreds of masked spring breakers invading stores and starting fights. And at least 13 people were arrested in that one. Law enforcement officials are warning viral videos of these events are breeding copycats now. And police departments say they are overwhelmed as a small gathering can devolve into chaos very quickly. Lisa, what's your thought?
Well, I blame Democrats. Full stop.
Oh, my God. This problem is systemic, you fucking idiots. It's systemic. Oh, my God. It's systemic.
I mean, for decades and years now, they have been leading this breakdown of society from all different vantage points, from a policy standpoint to the narrative around policing, also culturally as well. I mean, you look at the policing angle, all the soft on crime stuff that Democrats have pushed, the elimination of cash bail, abolishing the police, and then you get to culturally with welfare, incentivizing single-family homes.
I'm sorry, but if you live in a state where they try to defund the police, you need to fucking move. That should be your first sign.
Marriage as well. You look at the breakdown of God, of, mocking God as well, mocking the family unit. And then you look at the narrative around policing. You could go back to Michael Brown, hands up, don't shoot. President Obama pushed that lie. He said it was a breakdown of, the policing and, really blamed the police throughout the era. You look at Kamala Harris. She went and told Jacob Blake in Wisconsin that she was proud of him, a guy who showed up at his own victim's home to re-victimize her and then pulled a knife on police officers. Kamala Harris also encouraged people to fund the Minnesota Bail Fund as well. And to bail out some of those rioters in Minnesota, Mayor Johnson said that law enforcement was a sickness. So you can go down all the way down.
Yeah, Sheriff Grady Judd is going to be busy. Very busy. I saw somebody in here saying some stupid shit about a fucking school shooter. The only people making God is my God, crazy. Have paved the way for. It's not just Democrats. Any elected official that is allowing this is part of the problem. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. That's the big problem there. Too stupid to go to school, so at least he won't be a school shooter. A mass shooter in the making. There it is. So we're going to ban you, and then we're going to ban you for talking about a fucking school shooter and calling me a school shooter in the comments. That's just brain dead. I'm 31, you dumb fuck. At least get a little bit of knowledge before you start insulting somebody.
Down the line and see how they have led to this degradation of society and this breakdown of society. So I blame the Democrats, full stop.
You know, my guest last hour, Kelly Simpson, was a former U.S. attorney, Emily, and I thought of you when he talked about consequences, and he said this needs a Pavlovian response.
I like that, the bell with the dog.
Yeah.
If we view this through the lens of these are children, then we need to see that they are victims, and they could be victims. And when we talk about the violence, the nature of the crimes that they're engaging in, it is absolutely horrifying. And if you want to have that party see them for what they will, well, then they should understand that there's an epidemic of opportunity and threats to these kids' safety. Now, if you want to look at it through the lens of them being adults, it makes it all the more frightening. And that's what I think we should do. The enforcement mechanism has been totally gutted.
I agree. If you've got a child that you're allowing out past curfew, that should be immediately a felony. If you've got a child and you let them out past curfew and they go destroy property, public property or private property, you need to immediately catch a felony. Should be a minimum of like 5 years in prison. And the sentence should carry over to the child as well. We got to start holding these parents accountable for these little fuckers that are running around destroying shit. I never said that I agreed with them destroying any property either. I said I understand why they're doing it, but at the end of the day, when all you want to do is spread anarchy and chaos instead of rallying together a political party to make change in your country, you've completely lost me. And you've lost a lot of people.
Arrests mean nothing without actual incarceration and consequences that the attorney talked about. The reality is that we have demoted family court into some type of summer camp for them. There are no consequences.
Yeah, it is. It's a fucking vacation. When they go to jail now, it's vacation. Fuck that.
There's zero accountability and there's zero.
Put these bitches in work camps. Make them work. What are we doing? Why is it that America is the only fucking prison system that is so lenient? We need to work these people to the point where they are too tired to hurt each other. That's what we need to be doing with these people. What are we, like, why are we the only one pussyfooting around with these criminals?
Incentive for those kids to succeed whatsoever. What options have we?
It's kind of hard for them to have the time to make shanks whenever they're getting exhausted out in the burning hot heat, turning big rocks into little rocks all day until they go to bed. That's the problem right there. They ain't got nothing else better to do. Give them something to do.
for them. None in the public school sector. We've talked about the millions of dollars that we've shoved toward the unions. They're not being educated. They're not being cared for. They're not being fed in some instances. We've degraded the family unit, so they're not going home to God. They're not going home to a stable unit. Perhaps their one family member is out working 4 jobs to try to put that food on the table. So instead, they're incentivized by social media.
So slavery. So let me ask you something. So if somebody kills a productive member of society that would have been able to pay into our tax system and not end up in jail, and they get killed, the person that did that owes a debt to society. You know why? Because that was an active member of society paying into our taxpayer system and who was going to retire one day. So you know what should happen to you? You should be forced to work in that system. You owe a debt to it. It's called a debt to society. That's what happens whenever you can't keep your fucking hands to yourself when you kill somebody. Call it whatever you want. The name game doesn't work here. I don't care what you call it. Fact of the matter is, we got plenty of labor sitting around waiting on the damn death penalty. Why? Put their ass to work. You want workers? There's a shitload of them there.
By the dopamine hits and by the apps that encourage them to be violent and to be viral.
Oh, but the human rights. Well, where were the human rights of the person that got killed? What about that person's rights? They seem like they were violated pretty harshly, huh?
At the expense of the collateral damage, which is good American citizens losing their
Where does
lives,
this mentality
their
come from?
livelihoods, and their property. And we're
I'm
supposed
sorry
to
that every other country in the fucking world does this. Why don't we?
all them kids.
Ooh, you know what you just tipped into? So we've been following all these social media trials. Think about the victims in some of these, and people do get hurt in some of these instances. Think about the argument that they can make, like this formed on social media. Are you going to try to cull this or block it? And a lot of these people are minors, according to my last guest, the U.S. Attorney, Cully Stimson, said...
We're here every day. Please sub to the channel. We are here every single morning, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Sub to the channel. We have a channel membership as well. Check that out. I got exclusive emotes. I have no editor. So any videos that go up are me editing it out and uploading it after stream. And the videos are usually the streams that have been cut up into smaller content that make it easier to, view throughout the day. And the streams never get taken down. So if you miss a stream, don't stress. The streams are always up. And if whatever reason it gets taken down on YouTube, it's on Kick, Rumble, and Twitch. So there's plenty of modes of viewing it.
In Washington, D.C.
Please sub.
14-year-olds.
And like the stream as well.
It's
We're
just
here
a simple
every day.
Of the family. I mean, obviously, dads, where are you? Stepping in to train your children. I know my daughters, when they were born, as soon as they could understand English, the very first thing I trained them on is that you will not disrespect your mother. That was the #1 rule in our home. And it still is. And from that, you grow respect for mankind, for others, and also for society, and also for our nation. And those individuals that are making this nation great, and the looting you see taking place in these videos, it's just very sad. Break down the family is a big part of this.
I think I thought all great points. The breakdown of the family, the challenges with
You have no valid arguments. Oh man, another one, huh? Why should I care? Because he's scared of valid arguments. By definition, indentured servitude is literally slavery. Well, you know how you avoid slavery? Not killing somebody, dumbass. I'm 31 years old and I've never gotten locked up once. I've never been arrested. Big surprise if you follow the law and you do what you're fucking supposed to do in America, you don't become a fucking slave. Hell, you think that's the worst? I think that some of these murderers should be harvested for fucking organs. You want to sit there and take somebody else's life? If you go and kill, here's my view on it. If you walk over somebody's threshold into their home, you lose all rights to your body when you break into somebody's house. You break into somebody's house and you cross that threshold into their domain, you forfeit all rights to your body Period. You don't want that? Then don't do it. Being put in prison is supposed to be a punishment. It's supposed to be a deterrence to crime. That's what it's supposed to fucking be. Not this bullshit that we've come up with in our head of, oh, we can't put them away. They're humanity. They're fucking monsters. These people killed people. These people will gladly shoot you, rob you, are you. They will fuck you up. They don't care about you. We have a problem in this country when you've got somebody that flees a war-torn country like the Ukraine and gets stabbed in the neck by a homeless guy that's got a CVS long fucking criminal record that's riding in public transportation. Whether you like it or not, we need change. I'm sorry that I don't see somebody that killed somebody in cold blood as a fucking human. They don't deserve to be treated as a human. They're cattle to me, okay? They're garbage. You want to take somebody else's life out of malicious behavior and you get put into a work camp or whatever you want to fucking call it, then so be it. So be it. Get what you fucking deserve. Deal with it. Cry about it. I don't care. I don't fucking care. You think I fucking care?
With policy. Another thing is the effort from law enforcement to catch up with something. With social media taking off and allowing this collaboration, they're now turning to, these other takeovers that sometimes use vehicles. Very, very dangerous. These, not necessarily, but there have been a lot of laws that have been put in place to address those kinds of takeovers with
motorcycles.
Vehicles. Yes. And now they're planning to use those laws to effectively react to this in the same way. And one of the other things that I think might potentially be powerful is to going after the organizers civilly, not just criminally, but civilly as well. Now, whether or not there's much to recoup there, but to hold them responsible in some sort of way. So I think law enforcement is also struggling.
And you're right. You're right. My arguments are becoming more mainstream. There are more and more people that are coming to terms with that. Yeah, it should. It's becoming so mainstream now. It is. You know why? Because we are being flooded with illegals that are taking our welfare systems and all the money that we use to retire or have some bit of fucking freedom and happiness in our life, and they're giving it all to these illegals, and then they're killing us. Well, no fucking shit, you're gonna want change. Oh, big fucking surprise.
To catch up with this as it gets underway.
So what's interesting about that, you talked about the parents, specifically the father in the home. You start hitting them in the pocketbook and you might get their attention.
That's true. As a father, I mean...
if you hold people accountable for their actions, they'd be terrified to go to jail. They'd be terrified to have to work even harder at their job just to pay a fucking fine. Start affecting these people's lives and they will be terrified of doing it. Why do you do something in your life? Well, it's because you know you're not going to get in trouble for it. Well, it's the same damn concept with murder and criminals. Well, why do you keep stealing cars? Well, because they keep letting me go. Well, no shit. Well, no shit. He goes and does it, and then he ends up killing somebody eventually. Well, no fucking shit.
To the men out there, because I am a man and I am a father. I mean, men should raise their daughters to be an example for the type of man that they would seek to marry and spend their life with. And they should raise their sons to be the type of man that their sons would emulate. And we have a breakdown in society. I just read a statistic. It's either 1 in 4 or 1 in 3 households in the nation are fatherless. Fatherless homes in this nation. It's 3 times the global average. Globally, it's about 7%, and it's 23, depending on what survey you see, up to 33% of fatherless homes in our nation. And a breakdown of the home, like I said, and the fact that these kids aren't getting the stable understanding of respect and those things that dads bring to the table. Moms do too, certainly, but that stable family unit is very impactful on our society.
Where'd it go? Who's this? I don't know who. Stop blaming white people. 15 in the serpent. Oh, where'd it go? Did it get like Did it get censored out? Still in the wild. What is this? To any new viewers, I strongly advocate for calling some of these people out. What you do is you copy and paste their name, and then you can individually attack their arguments. Don't attack them. Don't call them names. That's my job. Call them out. Be like, what's your argument? What do you mean? What do you have a problem with? I absolutely recommend that in the comments. I love seeing that because they would do the same to you. Remember, if these people could put you in jail or kill you, they would most likely do the same. They would. That doesn't mean that you need to attack them, but in the instance of this chat, you don't have to stoop to that level. I get to stoop to that level because I get to make content out of them. And where did that guy go? There was a guy that was called, where'd it go? I don't see him. The argument, actual work camps. Kiddo. I don't know. Calling them out is the fun part. It is. I could sit here for hours and not even react to the videos and just call people out. I could.
And we've seen it, and we continue to.
Lisa?
Yeah, I mean, the police shouldn't be up to them to parent these kids. I mean, to your point, Captain.
That's all they can do. All they can do, because they can't insult the argument. They can't attack the argument. They bitch and complain and cry about fucking being debated, and it's like, I don't really want to debate people. I'll do turn-based combat all day, sure, but like, I'm not gonna fucking debate anybody. I'm a reaction channel. I like pulling up stupid comments and giving my opinion on them. It's funny. Like,
with the parents.
I'm not a fucking debater. I'm not going to debate anybody.
Structured, and there were two parents checking in on their kids, we would see a reduction in this.
I know.
Like, anytime you even listen to a debate, the minute someone's getting their ass handed to them, they turn to lying. I just don't want to deal with that, dude.
In this video,
I just don't want to deal with that stupid shit.
Were to see me in that video, he would be first very saddened. He would be take it personally against him, and then as a college student, I'm still under his purview. There'd be repercussions.
I don't understand how this is being allowed to happen. By the way, this is absolutely being allowed to happen. You see, hold on, let me go YouTube. What do we got? Iran hits Tel Aviv with missile strikes, injuring at least 29. This is new.
Okay, so tonight, President
Trump, I can't hear shit. Hold on. Wait. Nope. Wrong button. The camera's in the way. Okay.
In an important update on Iran after signaling a potential end to the conflict.
But U.S. forces in the Middle East are not slowing down. CENTCOM revealing this morning that they have flown over 12,000 combat missions in Operation Epic Fury so far.
I know, right? Iranian citizens are dancing, and Democrats are crying, and that's the way it should be. God, isn't America just an amazing place?
Is live in Tel Aviv, and he has the very latest. Jonathan, fill us in.
Good morning, Rachel. There is a lot of concern here that the Iranians might try to mark the beginning of the Jewish holiday of Passover with a huge missile barrage when that holiday begins at sunset tonight. Today, after the sun rose, the Iranian missile launchers were certainly very busy. At least 5 strikes aimed here at Tel Aviv itself. More than 24 people injured. One of them, an 11-year-old girl who we understand at this point is in critical condition. And as for the war itself, President Trump's comments getting a lot of attention that the war, or the U.S. role in it at least, could be over soon. Here's the president.
I think with 2 or 3 weeks, we'll leave, because there's no reason for us to do this. Now, it's possible that we'll make a deal before that, because we'll hit bridges, and we've hit some. We'll hit some bridges. We've got a couple of nice bridges in mind. But if they come to the table, that'll be good.
And to encourage them to come to the table, the U.S. and Israel keeping up the barrage on military and regime targets in Tehran and throughout the country of Iran itself. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio...
I love that before last week, they were complaining that America wasn't coming to the table, even though we attempted to go to the table with them before we took out their entire administration. Rip Bozo, rest in peace, you won't be missed. And now that Trump's trying to, make a deal with them again, they still just don't seem to get it, do they?
Says that will continue until the president says he's done. Listen here to the Secretary of State.
We are going to destroy their Air Force. We have largely done that. We were going to destroy their Navy, which we have largely achieved that. We were going to destroy a significant...
That's right. A lot of coral reefs out there now, boys.
...percentage of their missile launchers. We are well on our way to achieving that.
Another thing getting a lot of attention here today, the president's comments to London's Daily Telegraph newspaper that he is, quote, seriously considering pulling the U.S. out of NATO. That obviously would be a...
Please fucking do it. Please do it. Why the fuck are we part of NATO? We the only motherfuckers enforcing that bitch. We paying the most in that shit. Why the hell are we in NATO?
Historic decision. The UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer responding today defiantly, saying once again, as he said before, this is not our war, and we, the UK, will not be dragged into it.
The whole point of NATO is to make sure that you have an alliance of people that are willing to go to war together. Well, if the alliance isn't keeping up their parts of the NATO, then, well, what's the fucking point of being there? We have said time and time again that these people are bad business. They've hurt other allies. It's time to go. If you don't want to go, you don't want to move your ass, then deuces, bitch.
The future of the NATO alliance seems very much up in the air today.
We shouldn't be in that shit anyway.
Guys.
So, Jonathan, I'm just curious, what's the response from the European people, the people of the UK? Are they concerned about that the president is now saying that he won't have NATO's back if they don't help us with this?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's obvious. If you don't want to help, then why are we there? Why should we help you if you're not going to help us?
I think there is obviously concern among all the European
Do not collect $200. Do not collect $250,000. Do not collect $2 million. Pass, go, and get the fuck out of here. That's what we need to be doing. Get the fuck out of here.
About a U.S. withdrawal from NATO, because it would be a huge budgetary gap that NATO would have, of course. And
we're paying the most. Duh.
The might of the U.S., which acts as a huge deterrent. And I think what people in Europe are going to be looking at is who would be happiest about a U.S. withdrawal from NATO. The answer, the European people would say to that, is one Vladimir Putin sitting in Moscow. So, yeah, there's a lot of concern about a potential U.S. withdrawal from NATO, Lawrence.
Y'all already know what I'm doing. Y'all saw it in the comments. Y'all know what I'm doing. Y'all know exactly what I'm about to do.
And what's the message?
Talk big, but what did Trump say? Not starting wars.
To Iran?
Don't.
And what's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. It's one word. Pretty straightforward.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care.
He said that while he was campaigning to be the president. Damn, I inhaled that shit so hard it despawned, bro. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Smells like democracy to me. Smells like patriotism and American justice to me. You can bring up any other argument you want about Trump. But if you claim that you voted for Trump and you didn't vote for this, you lying. And you never voted for Trump. And you know what happens when you're a leader? You do what you have to make sure that your nation thrives. If that means that you say no wars and the tables turn and you're tired of dealing with it, and you have to start a war, then you know what that tells me? It tells me that he's willing to do what it takes, even if he's got to cross his own word to do it. And you know what? He said he was going to bomb the shit out of them. And what has he been doing? Bombing the absolute shit out of them. You damn straight I'm going to talk Trump up. And you know what? I agree with him. We should have been bombing these people way sooner. I'm sorry that we're bombing a race of people that deserve everything they're getting. And I'm not talking about the Iranians. I'm talking about the people that have single-handedly taken over Iran, the IRGC, and their stupid supreme leader system. That regime needs to go. Anything less than that regime completely being dismantled is a complete and total waste of time and money and resources for America. Period.
All right, thanks so much.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
We have a chance to take out the terrorist heart of the world. Don't let this slip.
Story in just a few hours, President Trump literally, physically headed to the Supreme Court, where oral arguments will be held over his push to end birthright citizenship.
Thank God. Get these people out of here. How come it is that America's the only one that does this shit? No more anchor babies, bitch. Get out.
For children of illegal migrants and temporary visitors to the U.S.
You're going to go to the Supreme Court tomorrow.
I do believe.
And just sit there and listen.
Because I have listened to this argument for so long, and this is not about Chinese.
I love how they're like, oh, but it's racist. Oh, how could you get rid of this thing? Oh, no. How come every other country other than the U.S. has this shit figured out? This shit is long overdue for reform. Get rid of this shit. It was made for slaves. Get fucking rid of this birthright citizenship bullshit. Get rid of it and deport these people. Get out of here.
These billionaires who are billionaires from other countries who all of a sudden have 75 children or 59 children in one case or 10 children becoming American citizens.
Joining me now, constitutional law attorney Mark Smith. And Mark, obviously, I want to focus on the law throughout the segment, but we have to talk about this. What do you make of President Trump being the first president, based upon all of our research, to ever attend an argument at the Supreme Court?
Armchair export right here. Brain dead dumbass that's currently banned. Well, I saw someone else. You are the immigrants. No, you see what I don't think you understand is we are the conquerors. You know what happened to the Native Americans that lived here? We killed them all and we took their shit. That's what we did. They're conquered. That's what it looks like when you conquer a group of people. You do understand that, right? You do have the actual brain span and capacity to understand that, I would assume, right? Hopefully one would hope. One would hope that you have that much, right? Or are you like Billie Eilish that like sits in their nice little multi-billion-dollar home and says that you can't occupy stolen land or whatever dumb shit she said, and now the Native Americans that she built her mansion on are getting that shit back? You speak a foreign language? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? A fucking idiot, dude. Get the fuck out of here. That's right. This land is conquered. We didn't steal shit. How you gonna steal from somebody that's dead? Shit.
Court. It's a great idea. Look, he is the part.
That's the whole reason why we got all these rich people in our country, because they know damn good well if they go to some place like Africa and they build their multi-billion-dollar mansion, a warlord's gonna break down their door, kill them, and take all their shit. Enjoy the privileges while you have them. They may be ending soon.
And if you're a part,
and that's not a threat towards rich people. That is reform through politics. Just so we're fucking clear.
Totally entitled to go to court and observe the proceedings. So I think President Trump should attend today. He is the party here. He is the one that created this lawsuit, and thank God he did. It was his executive order that finally got this issue of birthright citizenship before the court, because as you know, Todd, the reality was up until now there was nobody had standing to challenge this absurdity of basically anyone that comes to the United States and has a kid, they become an automatic American citizen. You could not challenge that because no one had standing to do so until...
Yeah, keep attacking me. Don't ever try to attack the argument. Same old bullshit, right? Where'd he go? My mom's dead. My mom died when I was 19. Bye. Dumbass.
President Trump wisely did this executive order. So he should attend this argument because he's the one that caused it.
Let's drill down into the law. This case is challenging a long-held interpretation of the 14th Amendment, with Section 1 of the amendment reading, quote, all persons born or naturalized in the United States, and this is the key part right here, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof, are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. How should the court ultimately rule on that question? We had it underlined on the screen. Jurisdiction of the citizens of the United States.
All persons born and naturalized in the United States and subject to jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of state wherein they reside.
And of the state wherein they reside. How should the court ultimately rule on that question? We had it underlined on the screen. Jurisdiction thereof.
Well, the phrase subject to the jurisdiction thereof is a clear historical meaning. Remember, after the Civil War, the whole goal was to make sure that the slaves and their children were made American citizens. That was
Sorry about your loss, but you probably that's probably one of the reasons you so lost following billionaires that would spit on you if you were on fire. No, let me tell you why I feel the way I do. Because as an American who grew up poor with no electricity or running water or the ability to get into an apartment, who was literally on the brink of being homeless and didn't even have the ability once I turned 18 to continue taking medication that I needed to function. I'm telling you, as a poor individual who was raised as an average person that literally has never had anything good in their life, that the system's fucked. And that mass importing a group of people is not helping this system. It's fucking it even more into the hole. I'm speaking from personal experience, dimwit. At least I can open my mind up enough to understand that. That's why I speak the way I speak and talk about the things that I talk about. You know why? Because it fucking affects me, dumbass. That's why. I've lived it. I've been there. I'm still there. But you can sit there in your nice little privileged fucking house, right? With your nice big fucking family that gave you everything you have in your life, right? And sit here and tell me what my political views should be. I'm sorry. Go fuck yourself. Oh shit, whoops. You'll have to forgive me if I think that anybody that's trying to attack my argument from the start is brain dead. Huh?
Originally done by a congressional statute, Todd, the Civil Rights Act of 1866, but there was concerns that a statute...
Having a family is a luxury. I got taught how to drive by an ex. You don't realize what a luxury is until you find somebody that's never had it. That's a luxury. In my life, that's a luxury. Having a family to give you a house, having a family that teaches you how to drive, having a family that's willing to drive you, that's a luxury.
Would not be sufficient to last the rest of the country's history. So the decision was made to create the 14th Amendment. And the reason
I am what my country made me. And I love my country. And we need to go back to our country loving us and our countrymen loving each other instead of importing these fucking people that are willing to take over the voter base and kill as many Americans as they can to maintain that voter base.
significant is when you read the Civil Rights Act of 1866, it literally says to be an American citizen, you have to be born in the United States and also not subject to any foreign power. That language was essentially elevated into the Constitution in the form of the 14th Amendment. So today, if you're simply visiting the United States, if you sneak into the country as an illegal alien and have a child, you are still subject to a foreign power, meaning your home country. So therefore, under the 14th Amendment, you're not subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and you haven't met the criteria to be a citizen. And that's a pretty straightforward argument. But of course, there's a vested interest on the other side to say that anyone born in the United States is an American citizen. And the only reason why that interpretation has lasted as long as it has is because, as you know, there's been no ability to challenge this in court because the only people withstanding are people that benefited from this.
And you know why our country is the best country in the world? Because if I said what I'm saying in a place like Iran, or Iran, however you want to say it, I would be dismantled and I would be killed. That's why. That's why we live in the best country. Because any other country where you have an opposing political view, they kill you. That's what they do. You'll be a nice little cog in their machine and you'll like it, or you'll die. In some countries, it's not work camps you have to worry about, it's death. Iran is a massive pillar in that. And their time's coming.
Interpretation of the law, everyone else had no standing until this executive order by President Trump.
I'm going to push back slightly. You said it's the other side, Democrats specifically, and you're 100% right on that. But I would also argue Republicans have not been as enthusiastic, let's say, as you are, that this is going to be a win for their side. The prevailing wisdom, as you well know,
exactly. How do you come to this country? You get bussed in. Like what happened in New York. You get given food, water, a place to live, fucking health care, something our vets don't even get most of the fucking time without a headache. Get a paycheck, transportation. I couldn't even get transportation to go to the DMV to even start my process of getting my driver's license. And they just get that shit handed to them? Fuck you. The minute I heard about that, that was a slap in the face to every vet, every American that's ever lived in this country, to every veteran that has died or watched a family member or a friend die on the field, giving their life for that flag waving every day in front of the White House. It is a slap to the face. You get no sympathy from me. You need to debank these people, seize all of their assets, and airdrop them into their own fucking country, and make them realize why America's the best country. If we weren't the best country, they wouldn't be trying to flock here in droves. They're trying to colonize us. That's what they're trying to do. And they damn near almost succeeded.
This court is going to keep birthright citizenship in place. So, with that as the baseline, what questions do you expect these justices to ask at oral arguments today? Who are you paying attention to? And ultimately, what does your gut tell you as to how the court will rule when they rule in a few months?
Well, this court is very much an originalist court. And what that means, as you know, Todd, as an attorney yourself, is
in any company that has the gall to hire an illegal, they need to seize every piece of messaging information they have, email, text message, phone call, and they need to figure out if they knew about it or if they didn't know about the fact that they hired an illegal. And if they did know about it, they need to be debanked, they need to investigate even further, and they need to seize all of their assets, and they need to be charged with human trafficking. And if they did it on the principle of killing or harming American citizens, treason and the death penalty should be on the table. Public death penalty.
The text of the relevant law, this is the 14th Amendment, and you look at the surrounding history. Keep in mind, there is already a group of people that were born in the United States at the time of the 14th Amendment, but were not made citizens because they were subject to a foreign power. And that was the Native American population.
If you like what you hear, sub to the channel. We're here every day. Every day, 8 a.m. to 11. Please sub to the channel. Every little bit helps. Hit like on the stream, too.
Was born in the United States in the late 19th century at the time of the 14th Amendment, but they were not American citizens. Why? Because they were subject to a foreign power in the
I just love that these people are crying about that. You do realize that if you get born, if you have a child that's born in a place, like if, for example, if you're fleeing Romania and you have a child in a different country, that child gets dual citizenship, but you still have to go back to your own country. Hate to break it to you, but that's not how it works in any other country.
Their tribes. So there's clear historical evidence here in addition to the text as to what it means. And again, because this is an originalist court that focuses on the text and the history at the time a law was enacted, that's where they're going to be focusing on what was the understanding of Congress and the people that ratified the 14th Amendment in the year of our Lord, 1868.
I am not a Supreme Court justice yet, but I think your argument really did sell me. Yeah, but the people that are also had a major ruling yesterday.
If it was the 1980s, the country would be 90% European. If go off, bro. Da, 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 da. I think you're okay. You seem fine. That was weird.
The state of Colorado cannot enforce its conversion therapy ban with Colorado.
No, W chatter, by the way. You good. You good.
People that live there, because it violates the First Amendment. Specifically.
I don't know if anyone's new here, but if you hit the @ or you can copy and paste other people's names in the comments. And you can hold, I want to see that. I like seeing that whenever other people hold conversations with other people. Like do their @ and their name and call them out. That's what they would be doing to you if I was on any other platform. Just call them out and be like, what do you mean? Where'd you get information? What'd you do this? Why'd you do that? How did you come to this conclusion? Call them out. You'll see how quickly their shit falls apart. You will.
How vital
You'll
is
see it.
this ruling? An 8-1 ruling. You got a couple of very, very liberal justices to buy in. How vital is this ruling to preserve free speech protections, which, as you well know, have
we're here every day, by the way. Every day. Every morning, we are here, 8 a.m. to 11:30. Please sub to the channel, like the stream, keep up the great work. Click like on the videos that you see. Leave a comment on the videos you see. You don't have to watch them because they're all going to be clipped from the stream. But a lot of YouTube's algorithm now isn't watching the video. I mean, it helps with money for sure. Like if you guys want to put the entire playlist, it's all one big 2,000 video playlist. Everything that has been clipped out of the stream is in one massive 2,000 video playlist. You can watch as much of that as you want, but what helps get more people involved in this, liking the videos, leaving comments. Engagement is what fuels YouTube now. So watching helps with money. Hitting likes and comments on videos and leaving likes on people's comments as well helps with discoverability. So just so y'all are aware, I like conversations. I like seeing them.
This is a very important ruling because
and then on top of that, if you've got a lot of people conversing in the comments, then you've got a lot of counter arguments, and I can see everyone's side of things and understand, and we can pick it apart individually and figure out where the fuck these people went wrong. We got to figure this out. Where the hell did these people go wrong?
Basically said that therapists that do talk therapy are allowed to encourage someone to convert to a different gender, but they were not allowed to encourage someone to remain the gender that they currently were born into, let's say. This is a very big deal because if you allowed Colorado to define the ability to define what you're allowed to say, because you have a professional license of any sort, that would have eviscerated the First Amendment for anyone, of course, that has some sort of professional license granted to the state. It would be a condition of getting that license to basically toe the politically correct line, and the Supreme Court says, no can do, we're not going to let that happen. That would violate the First Amendment.
Yeah, I think it's so important to view this case not through the lens of conversion therapy, but really.
You see, that seems to be the common occurrence. I want my eyes to be open that I'm wrong about something. I've yet to have it happen. That's why I pull people up. I just get called the name, and then I start poking holes in any argument that I'm really given, and then they just roach out. Then it's just gone. Every day. Every fucking day. Every day. A lot of y'all that's been sticking around, that's been watching the streams, y'all see it every fucking day. These are just the ones that y'all don't even see the ones that I see in video comments all the time. If y'all saw the dumb shit that some of these people try to say, y'all would be fucking blushing. Y'all would be.
Through the lens of what it means for the First Amendment, this is huge. It will have ramifications throughout our country for years to come. Mark Smith, great job. Appreciate all your insight on these very important cases.
Borders are Tom Homan, who just visited the Houston airport to monitor the...
Yo, Tom Homan, let's go! Damn, he looking good. He's looking old and tired, but compared to how he looked whenever ICE first started doing its showdowns in Minneapolis, he looks definitely way better. Tom Homan.
Long security lines.
He needs another medal for what he's doing for this nation. Tom Homan, I got one critique. Why isn't ICE more aggressive? It's more a question, less of a critique. Why aren't they more aggressive?
Mr. Homan has also been involved in the talks on Capitol Hill to end the shutdown. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Homan. President Trump now says that there is, in fact, a way to pay TSA workers, possibly as soon as tomorrow. Can TSA agents expect a paycheck tomorrow? And when can Americans expect the long wait times to die down?
Oh, this is CNN. Hold on.
Well, as soon as Congress opens up the government and funds the Department of Homeland Security, that's what needs to happen. But yeah, I talked to Secretary Mark Wayne Mullen yesterday. There is a plan to get these TS agents pay, hopefully by tomorrow, Tuesday. So yeah, it's good news because these TSA officers are struggling. They can't feed their families or pay the rent. Your heart goes out to them because they're sitting there right now working very hard.
Well, my favorite thing is that while these people may not be able to pay their rent, you've got these fucking politicians that are going on vacation and leaving a bill where the whole Department of Homeland Security gets zero funding. What do you think is tied to the Department of Homeland fucking Security, dumbasses? TSA. If you don't fund the Department of Homeland Security, TSA is not going to get any money, dipshit.
Not being paid while members of Congress down on vacation.
Jesus Christ.
It's ridiculous.
I don't disagree. If the administration had the power to move funds around to pay TSA agents this whole time, why did it take 41 days to do it? And how long will this money last?
Well, look, paying TSA agents doesn't pay the rest of the Department of Homeland Security.
Why are you glazing pedos? So you have unredacted information. You have unredacted information that's on the Epstein files that condemns Trump. You're definitely not getting in my comments and committing defamation on someone's character, are you? I certainly hope that you're not doing that. I hope you're not doing that and opening yourself up for a lawsuit, are you? Oh, you're generational fucktard. Okay, we got a. Okay. MAGA is a KKK slogan. Oh man, is a G. Oh God. Oh no, we've got a sheep that's lost his flock, boys. Brother, you in the wrong place. You went in the wrong side of the neighborhood. Mad? Hope you don't think you're gonna do anything. Yup, Trump could sign an executive order today if he wanted, but he did. He allowed the passing of the bill that unredacted the files. What are you talking about? It was his signature that fully put it into law. It's a law they passed that makes it to where the files have to be unredacted, and any information that's redacted has to have a reason for it. He signed it. He did sign it. What are you talking about, man? You know what? Oh, you're talking about TSA. But he can't. That's why they're trying to push it through the House. How do you think the big, beautiful bill got passed? You know, I gotta ban you anyway because you're calling the president a pedo with no actual evidence. Just because somebody's name is brought up in the files, 35,000, 60,000, 100,000, 200,000, I don't give a fuck, doesn't give you the right to go on to someone's fucking anything and just immediately start spewing defamation. Trump sues people for that, you know. I don't want to fucking be a part of that.
You know, you got the Coast Guard, you got CISA, you got the men and women Secret Service. You got a lot of people working at the Department of Homeland Security that isn't getting paid. And even though, you know, and we got the...
It's one of those days, boys. So you gonna ban him because of a discussion? What was there to discuss? He wasn't bringing up an argument. Germany looking better than America. History repeats itself. Open your eyes. See the deception. Politicians are paid out. The MAGA Corp controlled by a few billionaires. Israel, America, jail. Bro thinks it's 1890. Like, this isn't an argument, man. This is just a bunch of propaganda. I don't care about any of this shit. Fuck Israel. Enjoy bombing terrorists, because that's what we do in America. If Germany thinks they're better, then great. I'm happy for Germany, but that's just not the truth. I don't know, like, how is this even an argument? Like, the least y'all can do, you're asking questions. What about 1999, 2001? The files are missing so much that has been redacted. No one really talks about the Epstein files anymore. If you're still hung up on the Epstein files, maybe you should, like, kind of move on with that until they release more information. There will be a new administration that will be probably unredacting more of the files. We can't really do anything with the files, but what we can do right now is bomb a bunch of people in a foreign country that are genociding 30, 50, 60,000 people because they're not getting what they want. And this is a discussion? How is this a discussion? This just seems like you're stating a bunch of stupidity. Wait, is that the same person? I don't get it. Do you have any other questions that are more methodically thought out and put together a bit better? Or is that it? That's not really a discussion. It just seems like you're getting into someone's comments and spewing up a bunch of shit that nobody really cares about. Like, we all care about the Epstein files, and if Trump gets done bombing the shit out of a terrorist organization, and they get what's coming to them, and he's still on the Epstein files, you should still drag his ass out of the White House, oh brothers war art thou style, and stake him up on the White House lawn along with anybody else that's been in those files. I don't give a fuck. Trump's still doing what I want him to do. Our politics are infected with a method inducing. This isn't the same person. This isn't the person. That's a different person. That's a different person. I can't find him now. He's gone. Is that the same person? That's not the same person, right? There's no way. Where'd he go? I lost him. Is that the same person? I didn't actually read the name. Oh shit, whoops. The real problem is that there is no alternative right now. If not for Trump, who else would you have? Exactly. Yeah, I don't care who's running the office. I don't care if it's a Democrat or a Republican. I don't care what race they are. I don't care what gender they are. If they're bombing the fuck out of a bunch of terrorists in a foreign country, I'm going to support that president. Sorry, but whenever I see videos of a bunch of people that have been systematically genocided, writing our president's name on bricks and buildings, pleading and begging for Trump to liberate them, you'll have to forgive me if I think that bombing the fuck out of them is probably what they deserve.
Mission support under TSA, under ICE, right? ICE officers, excuse me, they'll be getting paid, but how about the mission support people, the people that keep the lights on and do all the things that they have to do so ICE agents go out there and do their job. So, they just need to fund the Department of Homeland Security. After all, we're talking about the Department of Homeland Security in a time we have a heightened threat, posture right now in this country because of what's going on in the world. This should be the last thing they're fighting over funding for.
Right, but if President Trump had the power to pay TSA agents this whole time, why only start doing it now?
Look, I don't understand. Look, I'm a cop. I don't understand the whole, appropriations language, appropriations law. I'm just glad that President Trump is able to pay the TSA agents. At least that's a start. But again, there's a lot more, many more, thousands of more, tens of thousands of more DHS employees who are not being paid that need to be paid.
Once TSA agents start getting paid, will ICE agents leave the airports?
I don't think they should. I think they should stay there. That's what I think. I feel like ICE being there is an amazing thing.
We'll see. It depends how many TSA agents come back to work. How many?
Seen a lot of ghost airports because of those ICE agents.
Agents have actually quit and have no plan coming back to work. I'm working very closely with TSA.
Oh yeah, because you can't keep a job that's willing to not pay you because of some stupid situation like that. Of course. Duh.
President Trump addressing the nation today.
Hold on.
So, teen takeovers popping up.
Oh, it's the teen takeover thing? Hold on.
Tonight, as the administration signals that an end to the war in Iran is just weeks away. This all comes just hours after the commander-in-chief gave an update on the results
we
of
see this
Operation
already?
Epic Fury.
We had regime change already. We've knocked out one regime, then we knocked out the second regime. Now, regime change was not one of the things I had as a goal. I had one goal. They will have no nuclear weapon. And that goal has been attained. They will not have nuclear weapens.
What they need to do now is they need to go into those sites where they're making that uranium. They need to blow them up and turn them into radiation sites for 100 years. That's what they need to do with them. They need to bomb those sites, make sure that the uranium that is active in there blows up and makes it irradiated for 100 years. That's a good start to everything that needs to happen to
Right
this.
now, officials are working to secure the release of an American.
I don't want to see them go in there and grab this uranium. I don't want to mine it out. Just blow it the fuck up and move on.
Journalist Shelley Kittleson
You can't go to a site that's going to be irradiated for 100 years without damn good protection. I think that's a good start.
Kidnapped by an Iran-backed group in Baghdad. Fox News contributor and former CIA station chief Dan Hoffman joins me now. Dan, let's start with what the president said. Are you confident that 2 to 3 weeks is enough time to accomplish what we need to accomplish before we leave, in light of the fact that this is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to neuter Iran once and for all?
Yeah, I think that remains.
You do realize I was a first responder, right? So I've been through FEMA's hazard protection through college. So I know how to handle certain biological things, such as radiation. You do understand that I know that we can only be protected from radiation to a certain extent, right? Gamma's the most toxic radiation that you can get. It usually kills you either within a few minutes or a couple days, depending on how much you get. Where did it go? The Native Americans absolutely... Go Iran, stand up to your country, stop terrorists from bombing your country. He did. And you know what happened? They made more. That's what they were doing. You realize that these people, the regime had 90% enriched uranium. They already had ICBMs. All they had to do was make a warhead with it. That's right.
It's to be seen. Look, our goals have been pretty clear. It's to...
And you know how I know they have ICBMs? Because that's what they've been launching at Israel the past 2 weeks. Are ICBMs with warheads. These people would have made nuclear warheads, switched them out, and we'd be seeing nuclear combat. That's what would have happened. Everything falls apart when you go back to the base reason why we are doing this. They were making nukes. You saw what happened whenever America and Israel started attacking Iran. They started launching missiles every fucking where. Just imagine if those were nukes. With continental ballistic missiles attached to them. A nuclear warhead with that capability, it's only a matter of time before they refine it and they can hit the heart of America. And what do you think a group of people screaming death to America and Western culture are going to do once they get to that point? I wonder what they would do.
To destroy Iran's defense industrial base, their ballistic missile program, the drone program, their navy.
Oh, but they're not a threat. They're not a threat. Oh!
To destroy what's left of the nuclear program, somehow to gain control of the roughly 1,000 pounds of enriched uranium as well. Now we have to add to that dealing with the Strait of Hormuz. But those are all the things I think that the president will need to accomplish before we get out. You're right. Once we end the war, we don't want to have to go back in 6 months or a year. The president alluded to that yesterday. We don't want to have to, as the Israelis like to say, mow the grass and dig up the weeds again.
Do I know what ICBM stands for? It stands for Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, fucktard. I mean, are you going to sit here and just criticize everything? You know, that's another thing. Like, I don't like sitting here and being criticized for everything I'm saying. It's fucking annoying. I mean, do you have anything to add to the argument, or are you just going to sit here and question my intelligence? Because I am now questioning yours, since you're going to sit here and question mine. Oh, how do you feel about the Iran war? How do you feel about the droves of terrorists that are getting blown into little bits in a foreign country? I think it's a damn good thing. I think more presidents should strive to do what Trump has done. That's right. Boom, boom, boom. Every time a terrorist dies, an angel gets its wings. And you know what it should be? Every time a terrorist dies, a United States serviceman gets a bonus. Honestly, let's be honest here. That's what it should be.
Deal with this once and for all.
What does this timeline mean for U.S. troops potentially on the ground in Iran? Because when you hear 2 to 3 weeks, that does not give a lot of time to put our troops.
You know why they're shooting kids? Because the drafting age to have your child taken away from you in Iran is 12. That's why. I hate to break it to you, but that won't work here. I know what the drafting age in Iran is. It's 12. They are tearing these kids away from these parents in Iran and sending them off to die for their own cause. You don't win against somebody that uses human shields. You kill them. You don't sit here and try to reason with them. They're using human shields. When you've got a press conference that you're doing in the middle of a parade because you know your ass is going to get taken out with a missile, you're using people as human shields. What, do you think that Iran is the only place in the entire world, and this is the only time period they've used human soldiers? Not human soldiers, normal civilians as shields? Think about what they did in Vietnam. Think about Rambo. How he couldn't be with his friend after his legs got blown off because of a fucking child with a shoe shining box. Well, you think this is the only time children have been used to obfuscate this fucking bullshit? Where have you been at? What world are you living in where you think children don't die in war? There's a name for it. Collateral damage. No one likes it, but if you're going to snatch children away from their moms and dads and send them off to die in your fucking war, well, sorry. Whenever you put a military base next to a school so that way you can bitch and complain whenever it gets struck by a missile, well, maybe you shouldn't have done that. This argument falls apart so quickly. What's the definition of collateral damage? Unintentional death, injury, or destruction of non-combatant civilians, property, or infrastructure resulting from military actions aimed at legitimate enemy targets. So you're really just that fucking stupid you don't know what a definition is. So here, let me help you, dumbass. Maybe you should look up what the definition of collateral fucking damage is before you get into someone's fucking chat and try to fucking tell them they're wrong. Because you're fucking wrong, dipshit.
In an enemy combatant country and then pull them out.
Yeah, I think, look, that the message to our troops is pretty clear. We've sent the 82nd Airborne Marine Expeditionary Force, the 75th Ranger
The amount of dishonesty with this bullshit is over. What does America gain by blowing up a fucking school, idiot? Nothing. Hello?
Detachment. We've got the George H.W. Bush aircraft carrier. We've got a lot of military assets in place. And I think what the administration might be doing is thinking about last strikes that could produce the damage that we want on Iran's defense capabilities, on their security establishment.
No, it's not. It's 12. The drafting age in Iran is 12. What did they recently move the drafting age to in Iran to?
Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps is recruiting children as young as 12 for the Basij, a volunteer force.
Do you really think it's voluntary? No, it's not. It's not fucking voluntary. You know why it's not? Because whenever you've got an entire group of fucking people that are using Twitter and turning off the internet to hundreds of thousands and millions of their own people to push AI propaganda, you cannot take these people seriously. They will lie to you and continue to snatch kids and put them on the front line so they can sit there, bitch, moan, and complain that kids are getting killed. It's war. That's what it is. It's a terroristic regime using human beings as meat shields. That's what it is.
Targets that matter so much before we come to a deal that will end this war.
As for the kidnapped journalist, State Department said they warned this individual not to go. This individual went regardless of all of that. Is this a one-off?
I know this motherfucker really ain't up in my comments. So I guess 32,000 people volunteered to be genocided before America showed up, right? That was voluntary, right? 32,000 people decided that they wanted to voluntarily be genocided prior to America showing up and bombing the fucking shit out of the Ayatollah. Right? Training starts at 12. at 16, you can volunteer. At what fucking point do you want to hear a damn thing from anybody that thinks that the age of 12 is an age at which you can consent to do anything? Let's think about this for a second. Let's pick this apart. I want to know who the fuck has the right to do anything at the age of 12. Oh, wait, they fighting their own ideology. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I might have accidentally pulled somebody up. Hold on. I think that me and you aren't exactly on the same page. I think I'm misunderstanding something here. I think you meant that sarcastically, meaning like the whole like, yeah, they getting okay. Yeah. You good, man.
Part of a strategy that Iran is utilizing to influence this war.
Look,
he was being sarcastic. He was being sarcastic to the whole volunteer thing.
American
that was my
misunderstanding. Avoid war conflicts like this one, and where they're going to be putting themselves at grave risk. I really understand that journalists, that's by their very nature, it's what they do. We know at Fox News how our journalists have done that. Intrepid, brave journalists.
Yeah, I figured that out after I read a few, and I read further down, and I was like, you're not a disagreeer. Something, I think it was my misinterpretation of it. That's what it was.
But in this case,
that was my fault.
What we'll be
I'm doing this thing called holding accountability for my accidental transgression. I apologize.
I'm quite sure, is using our.
It's to show this thing called transparency and that I'm on the right track to some extent. Okay, I'm sure a lot of people don't like that I say let's bomb terrorists, but you know what? If you don't like the channel, then go watch somebody else.
Intelligence resources. I've done that at CIA to try to track down and find our journalists, conduct negotiations where and if that's possible, and do everything we can to find this journalist and bring her out safely. But it's extraordinarily difficult.
Yeah, sorry for interrupting
you. That's exactly what they're going to do. You're absolutely right. They're going to wait it out, and then whenever Trump removes himself from the war or removes America, they're going to call him a liar. That's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do.
Obviously, a lot of the focus now is going to be on this.
But when America leaves Iran, Iran's got a bigger problem on their hands, and it's not going to be America. In fact, it was probably only like there is a 50-50 shot that when America leaves Iran, that Israel is going to nuke them. Because if you think that Israel is going to allow you to continue launching ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, into their cities and hurting their civilians, I don't think y'all are ready to see another nuke drop. But I think that as long as this keeps happening, there is a high probability that Israel will be nuking Iran.
But before we let you go, big picture, coming out of this war whenever it ends, this administration is not happy with NATO. We asked for help. NATO did not provide it. The president telling The Telegraph he is strongly considering pulling out of NATO. Secretary of State Marco Rubio echoing similar sentiments. Listen.
I've been one of the strongest defenders of NATO during my time as a United States Senator because I found great value in it. But when we need their help, not their help, we're not asking them to conduct airstrikes. When we need them to allow us to use their military bases, their answer is no. But I do think, unfortunately, we are going to have to re-examine whether or not this alliance that has served this country well for a while is still serving that purpose, or is it now become a one-way street where America is simply in a position
America has lost $12 billion compared to Iran's $4 million just in the first week. And you know why it doesn't matter? Think about how much money we were having to send to the families and how much money Obama sent to these terrorist regimes to get our American soldiers back. Think about how much money we've had to spend on blowing up their capabilities and bombing their scientists to keep them from making nukes. And then I think it's not really about money. You're just trying to push some narrative, aren't you? You know why? What you're on economy and its issue, Iran presents 1 mil bombs versus 50K drones. Iran has just for this war just as long as America. Answer my question. What question? This kid yelled death to America. Answer as well. It's pretty fucked. Kids yell death to America as well. It's pretty fucked. It's brainwashed. It's 18. What about the... What are you asking me? I don't see a question in here anywhere. Oh, you're asking somebody else. I just saw that. Are you asking me or are you asking somebody else? I'm confuzzled. No narrative, just genuine question on your opinion on what? Don't you think they'll affect America? I don't care about America's economy. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't care. When you've got a race of people that are being systematic, you want to put a price on somebody's entire, like, this race of people, the Iranians, have been systematically genocided for having an opposing opinion. If you don't wear, if you're a woman in that country and you don't wear a hijab correctly or the headscarf correctly, they put you in prison and then they are you so that because in their religion, if you're not married to somebody and you don't do the deed that way, you go to hell. They are these women, make them have prison babies, and then they kill them. I don't fucking care about the economy. If they need more missiles, they need more money. Send them more money and missiles. I don't give a fuck. These people have been terrorizing the entire Middle East for over 47 years. Their reign is coming to an end. You know how I know that? Because we rain in bombs on them. That's why. Whether they like it or not, no matter how much propaganda they try to push, no matter how much bullshit they try to say, it's going to end. It's going to end. Get it the fuck done. Stop wasting my time. If the bombs you're dropping aren't doing the work, launch bigger bombs. If those bombs don't work, well, how much bigger can we get? Let's keep going. What do you think? Japan decided that it was going to surrender with the first atomic bomb? No. We dropped the second one. And you know what they did? They surrendered. But you know what would have fucking happened if they didn't? There would have been a third. There would have been a fourth. There would have been a fifth. There would have been a sixth. There would have been a seventh. Uh-oh. There's nobody left. It's glass now. I don't care how much money we spend on this. I don't give a fuck. Get the job done. Stop wasting my fucking time.
Is that where this is headed, Dan? The United States leaving NATO? And if so, what about NATO, if anything, survives?
Look, I hope that's not the case, and we need to stop airing our differences publicly. That only helps our adversaries like Russia, which we're trying to deter Russia. I think what we need is a NATO summit behind the scenes. We need to discuss some of these tensions. Look, the NATO members will argue the United States didn't consult them before our attack.
And 42 deaf to the United States government. Dude, fuck you. Get out of my comments, you fucking traitor. Get the fuck out of here, you fucking piss stain. See you, bitch.
Attacks on Iran.
We're enjoying bombing you. We need to have branded deals with Doritos where they make the black Dorito. And on the bag, it should say every missile every dollar that you spend is $1 towards launching a missile at an Iranian terrorist. I guarantee you they'd make millions. That's what the bags need to say. They can call it like the Black Death. They can call it the B-2 Dorito bomber. I don't know. They can come up with a nice little catchy name for it. I would buy dozens of those things. I'd probably do a giveaway.
And we will argue that NATO members were slow to come to our assistance when asked to do some things to help us in the war, to prosecute this war against Iran. So, look, both sides have issues we need to discuss, but best to do it privately. Let's leave the hyperbole out of this about leaving.
You know, someday it might be books falling on you and your family. What? What does that even mean? Young and dumb. You know, as long as those books preach about how we took out a terrorist regime and single-handedly saved the world from this awful, awful regime, I think I'd be okay with some books hitting my head. Remember, it's the victors of the war that get to write the history books. Remember that.
NATO, I don't think that's in the offing, and of course Congress would be very much against that, and they've passed the law that makes it clear that we won't without their approval. It's a congressional treaty. So look, hopefully we'll have a summit and solve some of these outstanding differences.
Dan Hoffman, we asked you about a lot of things. You answer them all, and we appreciate that.
Why don't you enlist? I don't need to enlist because we have what was it, like 1.2 million soldiers? I don't need to enlist, third worlder. Maybe you should worry about yourself. Don't catch a bomb.
Great insight this morning. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks. Have a good morning.
You too.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube.
We're running a little late today. I'll admit I'm having fun. I'll admit it. I'm having fun.
Possibilities in Iran. Let's bring in Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired General Jack.
By the way, if you do hear sub to the channel, we're here every single day, even the weekends. Same time, 8 a.m. to 11:30. Sub to the channel, we're always here.
General, great to see you tonight. Let me start with this. How do you see this? I know you're very plugged in. How do you think this war comes to an end?
Yeah, well, the 2 or 3 weeks the president is citing there is not something he picked out of the air. This is the estimate he's getting from the commander of Central Command, who controls all U.S. forces, Admiral Bradley Cooper, and also from Prime Minister Netanyahu and his chief of defense, General Samir. So that's based on what it's going to take to achieve all the assigned objectives. And obviously they're comprehensive, and clearly the focus is appropriate. You know, how a war ends is much more important than how it starts. And coming to an end, what we really want to do is measure success. And quite frankly, the tasks assigned have been comprehensible, but every one of them has been achievable. And they, quite frankly, are, number one, take away their offensive capability.
No, I haven't played games for the channel in a little while now. The last thing I played at launch was Death Stranding 2. And the reason why is because I had to evolve my content to make money, because that's kind of the goal with YouTube. I mean, I don't know who you're watching where they're saying that, you know, they're not doing it for money because they're fucking lying because they did it for money. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I need to make money, so I'm going to do whatever pushes the flow. Now, I may disagree with what the flow is saying, like a lot of what's going on right now. I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'm not going to go with what everyone else is saying. I've butted heads with Asmongold, I've butted heads with Tectone, I've butted heads with everybody. I'll even butt heads with comments. I don't give a fuck. Especially if I know a little bit more about the topic than other people. I'm going to do that. But I haven't really done a whole lot of gaming in a while, and I probably won't, if I'm being honest. At the end of the day, I got to pay bills, and gaming wasn't paying the bills, and I tried that for about 2 years. So, time to start paying the bills. You know what I'm saying?
To use drones, ballistic missiles, their Navy, their Air Force.
The gaming market is way too saturated. It's way too saturated. There's too many people just playing games.
Defensive capability in terms of air defense.
It might return one day. Who knows? But as of right now, I don't really have a reason to.
We are well on our way to accomplishing that goal. And in the next time frame, we'll finish it. The second thing certainly has to do with future capability. That's why we focus on all of the companies that build the weapons to operate offensively or defensively. And that has been a very comprehensive, detailed targeting plan. And also, in the last several days, both forces, the combined force of Israel and the United States, have been focusing very heavily on the industrial civilian capability of the country. For example, steel mills, other manufacturing centers, and the like. Clearly to have an economic impact on this country for sure in terms of its posture going forward. The third thing, and you talked about it, we want to eliminate whatever is left of this nuclear program. And we know for a fact there are some enriched uranium. How we do that is a presidential decision, whether we go take it or whether we destroy it and create more rubble out of it, which it is likely in that condition now. And then after that, we have, I think, two big missions in front of us. One is open the Straits of Hormuz. Now, U.S. Commander Bradley Cooper has been on this for 14 days, stripping away the capability of the Iranians to influence it, to, in other words, retaliate when the ships start moving through the straits. Small boats, mines, anti-ship missiles, long-range missiles, artillery, all of the capability that they have for the last couple of weeks have been attrited.
Thanks for the happy poop. I don't know what the jewels and stuff do. I'm still kind of learning that.
Out.
You can also join the membership. If you're new here, sub to the channel. We have a membership that you can hop on board of too. It gives exclusive emotes that I made myself. I don't have an editor. I do everything myself at the moment. So yeah, check it out.
We get to a point here where we can
We're here every day. Every day. Every day.
Have them in some kind of a bubble where they're protected. There'll be Apache helicopters up. There'll be drones up. The A-10 Warhogs will be up. And it will be able to get through that straits. It doesn't mean the Iranians won't have some capability to fire at them. Of course they can. But there'll be adequate defense measures there and minimal risk to that. Our commanders are confident that they can open and secure these straits going forward.
That's the truth. I'm not here to say what people want to hear. I'm here to say what I think and what you need to hear. I'm sorry, but we got too many entitled what's the word? I can't think of the word right. We got too many people that are willing to pad the world instead of being put into a padded room. I'm gonna laugh at you if that's the case and you come in my comment. I'm gonna laugh at you. I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna pull you up front and center in front of the Eye of Sauron, and then I'm gonna attack your argument. I'm gonna embarrass you, and then I'm gonna ban you, and then make fun of you that I banned you. Okay, that's what's gonna happen to you. I'd be very careful.
The plan would be to pass this responsibility to our allies, and then let them continue with it, and we will pull away. How we negotiate that transfer, yet to be seen. The other thing you mentioned is Carg Island. For our viewers to understand, Carg Island, 90% of the oil distribution goes through that island. It reaches it by pipelines, and then the ships are loaded out of the distribution points. And we've already taken down all the military targets on that island. We have a choice to make. Do we occupy it? And
W viewers, I don't say that enough to y'all, do I? I'm sorry about that. W viewers, W people that don't know, W people that get the like little the jewels and stuff, W constant viewers, y'all are complete and total badasses, and I love everything that y'all do. W constant viewers and new viewers, and y'all that have to pop in and out throughout the week, that's perfectly fine. All of y'all are completely destroying YouTube's algorithm right now. Y'all are killing it. Thank all of y'all so much. All the channel members, all of y'all just showing up, watching, commenting, and liking stuff. Y'all are doing a phenomenal job. W all viewers, by the way. I don't say that enough. Seriously, I don't. Whoops. How did that even happen? My cursor was over here.
Control of it, or blockade it, or we destroy it. That is a presidential...
I don't know why that's even... like, if they are making more nukes, or they're still enriching the uranium, blow up the facilities and be done with it. Just blow the facilities up.
...decision in any way what the result...
Anything that doesn't involve a regime change is a Band-Aid. If you don't force this regime to change, the only thing that's going to happen is when Trump leaves office, we're going to be down the same road we're at now, where they're going to just keep trying to make bombs, make nukes. We have to stop this now.
Will be quite profound, and I believe it's checkmate for the regime, because now we will either control or destroy their economic viability as a nation state to have any capable power projection in the near future. And the final thing is what the Israelis have been working on, degrading the leadership, and you showed it on your board night after night. We have significant...
I love that our administration that Trump is running is bombing terrorists and then making fun of them on social media. I love that they're doing that. That shit is hilarious.
Degraded tiers of
It
leadership.
is a wonderful war tactic.
Also the organizations, what are they? The IRGC, the organization, paramilitary organization that really helps to sustain the regime more than anything else. Many of the leaders of the regime come out of that organization. It's also the Bazi militia who repress the people, the law enforcement command, and also the national police. All of those have been attrited. They're not destroyed, but they're significantly degraded. And that will have impact on the regime going forward. When those missions are accomplished, and our estimates in 2 or 3 weeks, I think we will be over. But that doesn't mean we don't leave and tell Iran what we expect of them. And there's some things we can expect of them. Not to recover their nuclear program.
What the hell's the house hippo? What is that?
Not to recover their ballistic missile program. Stop supporting their proxies. They're going to have difficulty doing that given the economic collapse that they're facing, and don't repress your people. And I think we got a pretty good lever after less than 60 days of what we've done to this regime. If you do any of that, then the United States is going to react to it. This is a powerful dimension here.
Why don't we have something like the house hippo?
The United States and Israel, I believe, has been able to accomplish in something less than 60 days. I know there's people, it stuns me, the lack of knowledge that people have.
It's not the lack of knowledge, it's the mass amount of misinformation that's on the internet. That's the problem. It has been covered it earlier in the stream. It's all the mass amounts of misinformation that is being spread and promoted as actual information. That's the problem.
When it's one of the most successful military operations I've been able to observe, period.
Yeah. And I know you talk every day to people intimately involved. That's why we want to give you time to kind of lay out the map for us. General, we really appreciate it.
Their nuclear facilities are for power, and their uranium is not enriched to 90%, meaning it's not weapons grade. Ask a nuclear engineer. You do realize that anything that's above 6% enrichment could be used as a dirty bomb? I think I'll trust the IAEA and what they found in Iran before I trust some engineer in some other country. I'll trust the people whose jobs it is to monitor that shit in foreign countries. How about that? To the people in chat, do you people genuinely look at one news broadcast and take it as fact without looking at the story from other people's perspective? So what information what am I pulling up? What should I be pulling up? What news organization should I be using? I certainly hope it's not going to be a third world independent media site that talks about how they have a lot of opinions in their news. I certainly hope it's not going to be another one of those, right? So what should I be using? What news source do I need to be using? Since clearly this isn't to your standards. Nothing? Don't tell me you're gonna roach out on us. What the fuck was that guy's name? I need to remember that damn name. That's not it. That's the wrong person. Hold on. Damn it, did I lose him already? Ah, here it is. Here it is right here. No, nothing? Still nothing? Man. Damn, ain't that a shame? Well, happy I got that termite out of my life.
Shed it.
All right, boys. That's it for today. I'm actually 2 videos past my release time. Okay? It's time for me to go. I had fun. I enjoyed calling stupid people out. But unfortunately, it's time for me to bail. It is that time. I'll be back on tomorrow, just like every day. If you're new here, please sub to the channel. It does wonders. Please sub to the channel. Show up, watch the videos. Well, watch the streams. We're here every day. Same time, 8 a.m. to 11:30. Thank you so much for showing up, guys. Y'all are all so awesome. Y'all have been destroying the YouTube algorithm. Y'all been putting it in its place. W chatters, W donations, W members, W new members, W reoccurring members, W constant viewers. Y'all keeping my fat ass in this chair right here. W viewers, by the way. Y'all are awesome. All of you. Goddamn. You gonna move that bitch down kind of low today. You ain't gonna get me today, bitch. You ain't gonna get me today. Got more goodies tomorrow. Asman didn't go live today, and he hasn't really been covering politics, so I've been kind of stuck on Fox News, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna kind of roll with the punches if I can. But we will be back on tomorrow bright and early. Try to stay safe out there. Don't talk to any crazy people. Don't turn into a crazy person. You might get laughed at on stream. Who knows? Try to put a smile on someone's face. You might change their whole day or their whole life. You never know. And I'll see you beautiful people tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Stay away from crazy people. Peace, boys and ladies.
All the past and the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got